The Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
KHPKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Well, how you feeling now, Kings fans? Yeah, what a night. I was confident yesterday, but I had no idea it was going to be like that. We celebrate the big win today. Whitey Gleason. And how about the call from Kyle Draper last night on TV?
I told you, man, they needed a win. They said, Drapes, we got to have you on the call. And that was a great game to call, man, because we pretty much controlled that thing for most of the game. And everybody contributed. My guy Keegan Murray with some of his dunks. Davion Mitchell, which I said yesterday's show, look for Davion. He came out fired up. And to have that kind of game, not against the Charlottes of the world, not against the Utah Jazz, but against the top 4 team, quality opponent. It was great to see last night.
And I don't know, you mentioned earlier, maybe the Clips were a little road weary, but it looked like the Kings just snatched their souls last night.
Yeah, I thought, the Clippers, it may have been in the third quarter or whatever, realized, you know what, we're not winning this game.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about James Harden, and we'll talk about this game over the next 4 hours, obviously. The James Harden we saw yesterday sort of reminded me of the James Harden against the Celtics in the playoffs last year, where he just checks out, non-factor. Exactly. And I think part of that has to do with the Kings defense. I think it was Trey Lyles who said it. They, followed the defense to a T, the game plan, but they took him out, and then I said it during yesterday's show and during the broadcast. Sure, no Kawhi, but you still got Hall of Famers. They didn't play like Hall of Famers last night.
Right. When you have a ball-dominant point guard and he's not a factor, that kind of derails your offense.
Right.
And you're right, because Trey Lyles mentioned last night the game plan. Davion came in and mentioned the game plan and how the Kings followed it. So when Coach Brown came out, I asked him, hey, these guys are talking about the game plan. What did you appreciate about the way they followed the game plan? And he didn't get into any specifics. He just said, you know what? We're not practicing. We don't have time to practice. We're just showing the guys film, and they're able to take that on the court, and that's great. But I realized there were some things defensively that he didn't really want to share with us.
Right.
But whatever it was,
we might
worked.
see them. We might see them come playoff time. And, I thought, because a lot of times, I've been in those film sessions. I've been over in some of those things, and the coaches will say one thing, but then you get to the game, and it's completely different. It's like, no, that's not what we worked on. Last night, they were in lockstep, man, and it was great to see. That was a defensive masterpiece I thought the Kings put on.
We got Simone with us today. Jay is still a little under the weather.
Oh, she got her King shirt, too.
Yeah, she was out there last night courtside.
Exactly. I'm like, how'd you get the hookup, Simone? I saw that picture you posted.
I got friends in low places.
It's good to see you out there yesterday, though. That had to be fun.
So excited to be with you guys today. And yeah, yesterday was awesome. Thanks for having me.
That was quite a win and a feel-good win. And I don't know how you felt yesterday, but I did. I didn't know why, but I felt optimistic. I don't know what happens from here, but I just think this team right now is really responding to the fact that they're kind of the underdogs again completely.
Yeah, and the way they played, a little chip on their shoulder. I thought Trey Lyles was huge. This is what's so crazy about this NBA season, Whitey. And we'll talk about this in Drape's Takes coming up. Yesterday at this time, we were talking 7-8 seed. I walk into this building today, I'm like 5 or 6 is still in play. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Like we were, a lot of us were resigned to the fact we're going to be a play-in team, and it's going to be tough and all that. And then you wake up today and you see you're only a game behind the Pelicans, only a game behind the Dallas Mavericks. And you're thinking, maybe, being hopeful over these last 7 games.
And things can change a lot between now and the end of the year. But as of right now, I believe you actually have the tiebreaker over the Mavs. You trail them,
yes,
but you have the tiebreaker based on conference record. Of course, that's not the case with the Pelicans. But I just thought the way the Kings played last time, remember we said we're going to know a lot more about them after they play that game. They looked like they understood what needed to be done, and for one game anyway, they did things that to me appear to be repeatable. I mean, I didn't see anything they did last night where I said, well, good luck doing that again, because they didn't even shoot the ball well.
They didn't shoot well. It was just mostly effort, right? It was energy. It was playing together. It was ball pressure. I thought, Davion did a fantastic job defensively. Obviously, Keon got into early foul trouble. But I think the Trey Lyles component, and I'll talk about this coming up next segment, is really huge for this team, and Trey does more than just knock down the corner threes. Defensively, he's tough. And Katie talked about it during the broadcast, his ability to switch out and guard guys, the ability to go small if needed. Trey Lyles is an underrated piece of what's going to happen here these last 7 games.
Bench played really well last night, right?
Yes.
Way back when the Weber, J. Will, Kings were starting to make their mark, there was a nickname people around here had for the bench. They called them the bench mob. It was like John Barry and Vernon Maxwell, and the guys would come in and really have an impact on the game off the bench. So I was wondering, if this bench bunch needs any kind of nickname. I saw last night Sign Lady and Nico, her husband, they had a sign last night that said bench mob. Was it the new bench mob? That's what they're
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So bench mob 2.0, I don't know, or something different, but
are we ready to go there already?
I don't know, but maybe I've taken us down a road where we shouldn't go. But my point is the fact that we're even talking about that, other people are talking about that, says that all of a sudden this bench is developing some kind of identity.
Yeah, and I said something crazy to begin the season. I don't know if you remember. I said they could be the best bench in the NBA. Now, it hasn't panned out that way. But think about what we saw last night, with Davion. He has really progressed and become, a key rotation guy. Trey Lyles, what he can bring. We haven't even seen Sasha scratch the surface just yet. Chris Duarte scratch the surface of what he could do. And my guy, Alex Len, and we had Alex Len on the post-game show yesterday.
Oh, Mike Brown was gushing about him last night.
Because it's not about the points and the rebounds. It's about the impact. And he, in that first half, him and Davion, I thought and throw Keegan in there as well, were the 3 most impactful players in that first half, I thought.
Yeah, this is, I think it's like the 5th time in the last 12 games that the Kings have held the opponent to under 100. You consider where we were for most of this year, early part of the year. That's remarkable.
Yes, this defense is a different kind of defense. And we talked about it in the first half of the season, like their inability to stop the point of attack. It wasn't about, rim protection or anything like that. It was, guard your yard, be out there and defend at the point of attack. And that's something I think they've been doing a tremendous job as of late, especially since the All-Star break. When I look at what they've been able to do, give Keon Ellis, my guy, a lot of credit there. He's been, don't give me the side eye. Don't give me the side eye there. Don't give me the side eye. But, Keon Ellis, just what he's given this team. And I understand he was in some foul trouble yesterday, but just another body out there at the point of attack. I think that's been huge, for the Sacramento Kings. And I got the numbers right here, Whitey. Since the All-Star break, the Kings are 12th in defensive rating. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. And Mike Brown always talked about, can you be middle of the pack, top 15? They're doing that since the All-Star break.
What do you make of this? Mike Brown, as we know, has been preaching defense all season long, back into last year. There have been a lot of people this year, a lot of fans who've been critical of Mike Brown. Some even, Brown's got to go. Well, you look at these numbers that we're talking about here, how well this team is defending right now at the most important part of the season. I think you have to give Mike Brown a lot of credit for that.
100%. And I don't know where these Mike Brown haters come from. They're trolls,
wherever
coming out
came from, they went back.
Right. They went back under the rock that they came from, right? Like, Mike Brown is doing a heck of a job. And we had some of the Nuggets broadcasters on earlier this year, and they talked about, how the job that Mike Brown is doing. First of all, the fact that he has not lost his team at any point this season, because it's been some rocky losses. It's been some tough times. But guys have stuck together. Guys, it seems like, have bought in. And the thing that I like about Mike, and we talked about this a lot during the first half of the season, that maybe we should just embrace the offense. You know, if you're not good at defense, well, at least be great at offense. But Mike from day one has hammered, no, we got to play defense. And he talked about it last night. They're playing like a playoff caliber style right now.
Right. I don't know for sure. I think maybe he's feeling a little vindicated. I hope he is. He certainly deserves it. But last night after the game, he was talking about, people have been saying, whoever he's talking about, I don't know, but people have been saying, we got to score 120. We got to score 120. We score 120, we'll win. And he said, no, you don't. No, we don't. Not this team. We do not need to score 120 to win. So it's not only is it working out, but it's been, I mean, really a stark contrast. Yeah, I think the way they're officiating the games has a lot to do with that. But the Kings deserve credit for being in position and having the mindset to take advantage of that.
And are you surprised that they've embraced that way of playing defense? Considering the rule changes or the way things are being called, like, did you think this team had that in them to be more physical, or were they just going to be a finesse team all the way through?
I thought they'd have the ability to take some strides in that direction. I didn't know it'd be this dramatic, because we know that Mike Brown, the way he's been preaching defense, the way the officials now are calling it, it's like, okay, you can do that more, you know, because you know, he get up on the dribbler, put your chest in it. And well, it's a foul. Well, now it's like, okay, now they're not calling those fouls. So I thought it would help them, but I didn't know it would help them this much.
Yeah, and I remember earlier in the season, Chris Duarte, to your point, he would do guarding with the chest, but he'd be called for the foul, and he'd turn to Mike and be like, Mike, what am I supposed to do?
What you told me to do.
That's what you told me to do, coach. And now he doesn't, those aren't being called as much. I think that's fantastic. You know, I look at our perimeter defense, and we don't have the biggest of guys, the strongest of guys, but we have guys that are quick, that are very active with their hands. And, you know, I give Davion some credit. There was one time where James Harden tried to post him, I think, and he ran into a brick wall, and Davion just denied him. And so I think, you know, the toughness of Davion, of Keon Ellis, that fight that they have in them is helping this Kings team down the stretch here.
I think that's a great point you made about the active hands. I think that's an aspect of defense. It's very important. It's very easy to overlook, you know, because we talk so much about position and strength, but just a guy like Keon Ellis, your guy, Keon Ellis.
My guy. I've been telling you, you got to get some starting minutes for Keon Ellis. No, but you're right, man. Just his activity. You know, he got the 3 quick fouls yesterday and was hard to really get into a rhythm. But
he still had 7 rebounds.
But he still had 7 rebounds. He still contributed very solid defense. And defense is more than just moving your feet. Defense is more than just using your body. You got to have all of that, and I think Keon does a great job.
If you're out front, or you're on the perimeter, and you get the ball, and you're getting trapped by Keon and Fox, and they get going,
right?
That's tough.
It's like
to get
the
ball
Tasmanian devil out there, right? Just
Yes.
hands moving and everything, and they're so cat-like quick too with it too. And so it's like 1 minute you think you're fine, the next minute they pounce on you, and you're like, "Whoa, what am I supposed to do here?" And so they can cause some havoc in that backcourt.
I think they did last night. Yeah, you want havoc, you want Drapes takes right back with those next drive guys on Sactown Sports.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another 3-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Snatch De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
Malik was a key piece in our offense, scoring the ball, facilitating. I just kind of listen to the coaches and take what the defense give me. They kind of tell me to just be aggressive. You got to be more aggressive. Those shots are going, those points are going, so be more aggressive throughout the game.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Davion Mitchell last night post-game, and again, we get back to the job that Kyle Draper did on the YouTube chat here from the end. Drapes is a legend.
My guy. Appreciate that. That was a fun one, man. That was a fun one because it's been it's been a while since I've called one. Mark's called the last 3 or 4. I think he has the next 3 or so. And so it felt good to be back in the big seat calling that game last night.
There was really good energy in there last night, huh?
Yes. And it was something you talked about too with the crowd. Like this was a game where we needed the energy from the crowd, and I thought they were up pretty much the entire game.
You want energy, you want Drapes takes, and here it comes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
Let's do it, Sacramento Kings fans. What a game. And I'm going to do it sort of chronologically from last night, if you will. I'm going to start off with my guy, Keegan Murray. I thought Keegan came out with the right mindset, came out on fire. The fact that he took 18 shot attempts again as well, that was an ugly game to start. Nobody had it going, but Keegan Murray did. 18 shot attempts, Whitey, but only 7 of them three-pointers. So he wasn't just settling. The dunk he had on Zubac, the dunk heard around the world. This is the Keegan Murray we need the rest of this season. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. It can't be no 12 shots a game. Keegan needs to be 15 to 18 to 20 shots per game. He's that good, and I like what I'm seeing from him these last few.
He's playing like he has a very clear idea of what exactly he's supposed to do right now within this offense. And the shot he made, the end one where the ball came off his wrist, I guess that was an indication of what kind of night it was for him. And the Kings, I've never seen that.
Right.
And, he kind of looked up like, what?
That went in? Right. Yeah, so that was beautiful to see. And I think, we're in for a treat these last 7 games with him. I think this will be the best stretch of the season for Keegan Murray.
Are you saying Campio's right? We're going to get 23 to 29 a game?
I don't know. Yeah. All right. I would love that. Okay. I would love that. And our guy Campio said 23 to 29 for Keegan. He's been on a tear as of late. I thought last night, 19. I'll take 19. It doesn't have to be 23. I'll take 19 and being impactful. Speaking of impactful, I want to shout out these guys individually, but as a collective unit. The bench mob or bench mob part 2. And let's go through the first half of that game. I thought Davion Mitchell, he's just been amazingly efficient over the last 2 months or so. And here's the thing about Davion. He took 7 triples last night. When's the last time Davion took 7 triples in a non-garbage time game, in an important game? I like his confidence. Right. I like his confidence, his ability and the willingness to take that shot. Because this is one thing we know about this Mike Brown and Jay Triano offense. Ain't nobody going to turn around and be like, dude, why you shooting so much? And so I think we're seeing the best of Davion, and I couldn't be happier for this kid. He's playing so well right now.
That's one of the most relatable things about this team right now. Guys like him and Keon playing so well and clearly enjoying the fruits of their labor. They've been working so hard at getting to this point.
Exactly. And he stayed ready. You never saw him moping or pouting or talking in the media or anything like that. That dude just kept staying locked in, kept going to work. Shout out to Davion. I got to continue with the bench here. My guy, Alex Len. I've been saying it from day one. Alex Len is a pro's pro, Whitey. He's not going to try and do anything too fancy. He's not going to hurt you when he's out there. He looked like an enforcer out there. The block shots that he had in that first half, finished with 3 block shots.
He got the crown, right?
Yeah, he got the Defensive Player of the Game crown yesterday as well. Alex Len should play every single game because he's always a positive, I think. The energy's always there with him. The effort, he's always in the right place at the right time. He's not going to be too wild or anything like that. Alex Len has been great, man.
Isn't it funny? It was just about a year ago with about 7 games left where he started never playing again.
Right. He was buried on the bench, and we were like, oh, I forgot Alex Len was on the team. And he came back, and he's been great last year, end of last year, and this year. And then my guy, Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles is the difference maker for this Kings team. We talk about who's going to replace Malik Monk. Nobody can really replace Malik, but we can get a lot more from Trey Lyles than we saw earlier this season. What we saw last night, that should be the norm, in my opinion, for Trey Lyles. The dude took 11 shots. He let it fly last night. He's a great defensive player. He can switch off with smaller guards. He has a toughness. I think Trey Lyles, think about this, only his second game back, Whitey, and he played that well. He's a big part down the stretch for this team.
That's why I did a song about him on Twitter.
I saw that. I had to block you or mute you after watching that. I was like, ooh, this is kind of painful. And so shout out to my guy, Trey Lyles, man. He was good.
The most interesting part of what you just said to me is the fact that he's seems to be taking over for Malik, not just in terms of points, but in terms of that, I don't know, emotional component, that he is now like, all right, guys, I'm our emotional leader now.
Right. You see him out on the floor. I mean, the way he rebounded yesterday, he had a couple of offensive rebounds where he just came in from nowhere. It was just like, oh, man, I didn't even see Trey coming. And the fact that, how about this? He had 5 assists. Wow. Trey Lyles had 5 assists last night. Give the man some credit. Here's my final Drapes takes, White. You may think I'm crazy, Sacramento Kings fans. You may think I'm drinking that purple Kool-Aid. You may think, because I'm on the payroll, I'm saying this. I said it last segment. I woke up and looked at the standings, and I said, why not aim for 5th? Why not? We're talking 7th, 8th playing. The 5th seed is still within our reach. Mm-hmm. Clearly, we got to beat the Pelicans. Obviously, you got to get some help. Hopefully, the Mavericks stumble a little bit. This game against New York coming up is massive for Sacramento. And I know it doesn't factor into the tiebreaker when it comes to the Mavs because it's against an Eastern Conference team. But right now, you need wins. And any pressure you can put on the Mavericks, I'm not talking about playing anymore, Kings team fans. I'm talking about 5 or 6 seed for this Sacramento Kings squad.
Wow. We may need a slogan from you, like in the past, like baseball teams. Yes, we can. Why not us? And I don't know if you have anything, but it might be helpful.
Yeah, I'll come up with something.
Coming from you, it would be
I'll come up with something by the end of the show. I will definitely come up with a slogan.
Kind of a rallying cry here.
Exactly. I got you covered. So that's Drapes Takes right there. It is brought to you by Alsco Uniforms. We see them at the Kings game all the time. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
Thank you, Drapes. Do you know if they ran the Trey Lyles press conference live last night? I know you did the game. Do you know on the post game? Because
I don't know if he did.
He said some words you was on TV. When he first came out, someone asked him, is it great to be back? And he said, man, I'm tired as bleep.
I heard that. I think I might have been listening to the radio post-game show, and maybe I heard that on there. But, yeah, it's dude, he played Trey Lyles 26 minutes last night and only his second game back. I thought that was huge last night for the Kings.
Yeah. Oh, we do have that sound? Can we play it? Is it okay?
Is it all right. Broadcast worthy? All right.
I was tired of today, but it felt great to be out there with the guys competing, playing together. We're playing hard, and it's always nice playing at home. But the last 2.5 weeks was tough for me, just having to sit back and watch and not being able to go out there and try to help the team out. But now being back is obviously where I want to be. So I'm happy about it.
And he talked about as long as we play hard and use that term again that I think he used after the team meeting, as long as we continue to hold each other accountable.
Yes.
Not everybody on the team could say that.
Right. And here's the thing. It's not on the coaches to do that. Like, that's what we've been wanting from this Kings team. Is like for players to take ownership. Mike Brown's talked about that.
Yeah.
For the players to take ownership. And it seems like it's starting to click right now.
Mm-hmm. And he also spoke about how, look, no one is in any way glad that Malik's not there. It's a still potentially devastating blow for this team. But this is true. He talked last night, Trey Lyles did, about the fact that, there's more shots now in the offense.
Yeah.
And basketball players at any level, hey, there's more shots now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm going to eat that up.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So he recognizes that. It looks like Keegan is, okay, well, yeah, those are my shots now. You're not seeing the reluctance that we saw from Keegan before. We'll see. Still, we got 7 games left here, but it looks like they have a real keen understanding as a team of how they need to play to make up for Malik's absence.
I think we're seeing that with each game, and Keegan Murray seems to be a big beneficiary of that, and he got the memo, he got the assignment.
Didn't he almost smile?
No, he did crack a little half smile, I
okay.
think. Yeah, he did. He did crack a little half smile. It's funny because we showed him during pregame introductions, and I didn't know when he gets introduced, he does the 2 thumbs down that Malik gave him. And so he did that even before the game and then cracked a smile. And so it may not look like the kid's having fun, but he's having fun out there.
When we come back, the latest on the Sacramento A's. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 Public Golf Courses in all of California by Golf Pass, Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Sponsored by Xfinity. Enjoy the entertainment you love with the Xfinity Stream app. Turn any screen into a TV and take the entertainment you love wherever you go. Xfinity, we connect you to more of what you love.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Fidium Fiber, Dawson Oil Company, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We will get to the latest on the Sacramento A's in just a moment. First, the buzz over the Kings and their win last night just getting louder and louder. Drape says he may be able to come up with a slogan for us by the end of the show. We have some help for you. Are you interested?
Yeah, let's hear what we got.
So Drape says, hey, we could still get the 5th seed. And it reminds me of some of those slogans like baseball teams have had, like, yes, we can. Why not us?
Right.
So he says he may work on something like that. Aaron on the YouTube chat says, stay alive for 5, fix for 6.
Nah, that's not doing it. That's not sorry, Ron. That's not doing it. That's not doing it. Nah,
right.
Nah, that's.
You don't even say anything. You're alive for 5.
Right. We're alive for 5.
Yeah. Fix for 6.
What does that mean? Right?
That makes me think you're taking your cat in to get a procedure.
Get fixed for 6.
But appreciate the effort.
Good job, good effort, right? Yeah, well, I'll come up with something. I could do. Just give me some time, people. I'll come up with something.
Well, there's no obligation.
Okay,
if it doesn't work,
it doesn't work. Okay,
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. TC is back with us. What's up, TC? Check it. Sounds like TC can't hear me. Hello, TC.
You type it on your typewriter, TC?
What's up,
is
TC?
He there? Oh no, I think his reception's jacked up.
Right.
Yeah. We're gonna have to upgrade his call plan or something. He ran out of minutes or something like that. So.
All right. What are you hearing about the Sacramento A's, the Oakland A's? We know a meeting today. I've heard around here that we could have an announcement tomorrow, Kyle.
Really?
I've heard that. Oh yeah, it could be something tomorrow.
It's I would like to see the reaction when it does happen, because I'm monitoring social media. I'm listening to people call in and talk about it on the shows and everything. And seems like some people are split on, should we welcome them with open arms or not? And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to just speak for myself. If we get the Oakland A's for 3 seasons here in Sacramento, I'm waving a flag. I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited, because it gives us another professional team, maybe only for 3 years, yes, but they're going to leave Oakland anyway. They're going to probably, if it's not Oakland or Sacramento, maybe Salt Lake, maybe Vegas early. I don't know. But the hypocrisy that's being spit out there, and Jay and I talked about this last week, and I talked a little bit about with you about it yesterday, take Vegas out of the mix. And if Vivek and Mayor Steinberg held a press conference and said the Oakland A's are moving to Sacramento, take Vegas out. Let's say Sacramento was the first choice. I think a lot of people would be happy about that. A lot of people would be excited. Now, people may feel like in this case they're being used or whatever. I'm going to trust the city leaders. I'm going to trust Vivek that they think this will be good for the city. And so I would be all on board for it.
Mm-hmm. It almost looks inevitable at this point, which is incredible. It appears, all signs seem to indicate that it's going to happen, that they're coming here. It looks to me, and I know Casey Pratt was talking about this or tweeting about this, and he obviously is a lot closer to it, but it looks like the play is for Vivek to get the A's here and then hope that Vegas falls through, which everyone who knows anything about it says there's a chance it's going to fall through. Then maybe you have a leg up on, well, now what are you going to do? Stay here or sell to me? Right. I think that's the play. We've heard that, well, we'll have 3 years here in Sacramento to show Major League Baseball how well we could support an expansion team. That's true, but that's a real long shot.
That's a long shot.
It could happen, but I think that's the play let's get them here. The thing that bothers a lot of people and bothers me too, but it's going to happen. I don't know what we can do about it, but it's just that in a way, Sacramento is actively keeping the A's from staying in Oakland. It's kind of actively and willingly getting in the way of Oakland's efforts to keep the A's. So that's, it's a little untoward. That's why I think people are, anybody who had sympathy for Oakland and A's fans, and some of us are, A's fans, even though we're not in Oakland,
right?
A's fans up here. So, last summer it's like, oh man, it'd be great if the A's could stay. Now you have Sacramento kind of get in there and like, well, how about if you come here? Even though I know everything that's being said is, well, we think they should stay in Oakland, but if they don't, why don't you come here? So that's why I think people are having a hard time with it. To your point, I know there's also going to be a lot of people, and bless every one of them, who are going to say, I don't have time to care about any of that stuff. There's baseball down the street, and I'm going to go watch it. I get that.
It's knowing that this could potentially be good/great for Sacramento. What's your allegiances to? Is it to your friends in Oakland? Is it to the city of Oakland? I view it as the city of Oakland and the A's have had plenty of time to come to some sort of agreement. They've had plenty of time to work this out. And I hear what you're saying about, we're sort of helping the A's, leave Oakland to an extent.
Fisher's pitted Oakland against Sacramento, just like he pitted Oakland against Vegas. That's what he does.
Right.
He's had success with that, but that's the reality.
Right. And, And I saw some of Matt George's tweets, and this is where it gets sticky because we went through this with the Sacramento Kings, right? Yeah. And so it touches a nerve, no doubt about that. I will say it's the cost of doing business, though. It's the way business is nowadays. And like I said, if you threw Vegas out the mix and John Fisher announced we're moving a team from Sacramento, does that make it feel any better? Do you feel any better about that then?
It would be a little different because at least they'd be in the region. It would be kind of like when the 49ers went from San Francisco to Santa Clara. It's really awkward. It's difficult for a lot of fans. But now we'll see what's next. You mentioned the price of doing business. Maybe we shouldn't care, but I do wonder, well, what is Sacramento giving up? What is the city giving up to make this happen?
Yeah.
Is it just like, Mr. Fisher, whatever, you tell us what you need and we'll do it? I mean, I hope not, but we got to find that out. And another thing I'm wondering about is, I don't know the answer to this, but I wonder if the players union has any power here to say, what's this place you want us to play in? That's not a major league facility. We don't want to play there. I don't know. And that's not really having anything to do with what we're just talking about, but it's another potential wrinkle going forward.
Yeah, it is. And we've heard the Players Association come out and say, hey, y'all got to get this fixed. Wherever we're going to play, we need to know right now. And
it's incredible that it looks like it may be resolved very soon, but we're talking about next year and we still don't know where they're going to go.
That's remarkable. Right? Less than a calendar year away.
Yeah.
And we still have no idea. And I just think there's so many dominoes to fall, whether it's the Vegas situation, can Oakland strike a deal? Does Sacramento have the infrastructure and the field and everything to occupy the A's? Like, there's so many moving parts here, so many unknowns. And like you said, let's say they do say, you're coming to Sacramento. Would the Players Association be like, well, then what about our families that are living in the Bay Area? There's so many things that could still go wrong with this on many different levels. Like I said, if they're going to leave Oakland, which it looks like they are,
it does.
Come to Sacramento. I'm all for it. 3 years. And, like you said, the play might be hoping that this Vegas situation falls through.
Right.
And since you're already here,
the scoop and score,
baby. The scoop and score. Exactly. And I know it sounds nasty, right? It sounds kind of dirty to do if you live here in Sacramento, but I see the play. I see it.
If you're Vivek and you want a baseball team, it's, Major League Baseball team, your options are really limited. I get that. Baseball, they're going to expand someday, maybe, and maybe they would add 2 teams. And it's apparently just about a foregone conclusion that Nashville is getting one of them. That's not officially decided, but sources say and people in baseball say, Nashville will be one of them. That would mean you'd have one other spot. and you'd be competing against all these other cities that have a big head start on landing a team. It would be a real long shot. So I understand if you're looking at it, what's our best chance to get a team? This may be, if I'm Vivek, this may be my best shot at getting a team.
Yeah, exactly. Because the expansion thing, like you said, is a long shot. You got Nashville, you got Austin, you got Portland that wants to be in play for a team as well. And so this, like you said, this would be Vivek's best shot, already having something here. And did you see Casey Pratt's tweet lately? He said, if they do come to Sacramento, Vivek, the Kings, the River Cats, some of the staff there would help in terms of running the A's while up here.
Yeah, it also means that people who work for the A's, some of them
lose
would
their
probably,
jobs. Yeah, it's ugly, man. It's just a dirty business right now. Yes.
Yeah. Just think, if you worked for the A's, you wouldn't want to relocate to, we got to go. Nothing against Sacramento, but I would want to stay where I was, right? So that's just obviously the actual cost of these things. But I understand fans who get excited about the thought of Major League Baseball at Sutter Health.
I mean, look, we're watching A's Red Sox.
At least one one of the teams would be Major League.
One of the teams. Exactly. It's all about who's coming in, right? It's not about having the actual A's here. It's about being able to see some of the opponents out there. And, I'm looking at the YouTube chat. Amadrock says, as a Red Sox fan, I wouldn't mind seeing the A's play the Sox. I don't like what the ownership is doing to the team, though. And that's the dichotomy we have here. It's like we like the idea of a major league team here. We just wish it was under different circumstances with a different owner.
And then the end says, if we could keep the A's in Sac permanently, that would be awesome. And that's, you're trying to pull off maybe a triple play here, but stranger things have happened.
Yes, and Manny too legit. I'd be stoked if the A's came to Sacramento. I'd be able to watch my first MLB game in person, and we get to try the ballpark food for the first time.
What?
See, there you go.
Never been to a game?
Right. Dude, he might not want to drive down to Oakland or San Francisco or something.
Waiting on Drapes to hook him up.
He's waiting on some tickets.
Doesn't he have a cousin who's owns a major league team or something?
No, Manny too legit.
Manny.
That's Manny, not Campio. Not Campio.
Sorry about that.
Manny too legit.
Yeah, we got
Campio saw Babe Ruth's first game, man.
Yeah,
he was there for Babe Ruth's first game. No, on Campio.
That's right. We're going to come right back with a look at C. Webb, who is coming back to Sacramento in a way. Next, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Spins away from the defender. In the paint. Soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento. It's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-905-1990. That's 1-800-905-1990. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-905-1990. 1-800-905-1990. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
Once upon a time, you could get a heater tune-up or an air conditioner tune-up for just $59, or both for $89. Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
I thought you were going to read me a bedtime story.
Go to sleep now. Bonnie.com. License 696-355.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com, and Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Chris Webber coming back to Sacramento. Tell you all about it in just a moment here. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports. We have been talking about baseball. We think we could be very close to an announcement that the A's are going to move to Sacramento on a temporary basis for 3 years. I can't believe that. As I'm saying it, I'm like, what? So we don't know for sure, but it's certainly looking that way. We have baseball on right now. Of course, we have monitors. Our whole studio is full of the wall monitors. Every sporting event that's going on in the world. I don't know if you've been watching any baseball because you've been so busy with basketball, but I tell you, the game does move along very nicely now. The rule changes they put into place last year have really restored some necessary pace to Major League Baseball.
Yeah, what are they running now? About 220 or something like that now? Is this is live, this A's Red Sox game right now? Yeah. So anything under 3, I'm all for.
Yeah, and
we're seeing it.
Yeah, and it moves along nicely, kind of like you used to way back when. So we'll we'll see, but this tells you a lot about where baseball is relative to other sports. You know, Monday night there was a no-hitter in baseball. It was nowhere near the biggest story of the night in sports. It was the women's basketball.
I heard about the no-hitter.
That's unbelievable.
I saw it briefly, and back in the day, 5-10 years ago, that would have been, oh my gosh.
The Iowa win over LSU. You've probably heard the ratings. Let's see, outdrew all but one of the 5 games in last year's NBA Finals, along with the clinching game of last year's World Series. So 12.3 million viewers, which is great.
That's great.
When I laugh, I'm not saying, it's terrible. I'm just saying, someone who's been watching sports for a long time, it's hard to believe that the game is that much more popular.
Yes.
It's great, but it's like, outdraw the World Series. That's amazing.
Yeah, that one game. I mean, shoot, we were sitting here watching it.
Yes,
in here in our studio, and so the women's game, man, it's exciting. It's full of stars now too.
Yeah,
stars drive things.
That's true, huh?
It's all about the star power. Yeah, And it's not, to me. The competitiveness has always been there. It's just now. Caitlin Clark is looking like Steph Curry out there. Paige Beckers, Juju, like they're doing things, and it's like, wow, it's sort of like Steph Curry. It's stuff we haven't seen, at that level before.
In some ways, it's the personality more than the game they play. I remember talking to John Feinstein, great golf writer, about Tiger, and he was saying, if Tiger did something else, he'd still be immensely popular. It's not that Tiger's a golfer. Right. The golf isn't the important part. It's the Tiger part.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what John said. Huh?
Yeah. So that's the thing, as you say, one of the reasons that women's basketball is so much more popular is because some of these, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, it's like we're drawn to the personalities who just happen to be playing basketball.
Well, I wonder, though, with that, does media create these personalities? Like look at the music industry, for instance. Like pop stars, if you have the money, the marketing, the backing, you can become big.
Yeah.
May not be the most talented, but because you have that, and I wonder, in athletics, is that the same? It's like we talked about with basketball, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, as great as they are, they don't have the marketing machine of the Lakers behind them, the Knicks behind them, and they become bigger stars maybe in other markets.
They don't have the marketing of a Carmelo Anthony, who's a good player, but still, come on. Most overrated star ever.
Carmelo was a bucket. Come on.
Eventually he was.
He was a bucket getter. Carmelo Anthony is the modern day Luka Doncic. Luka is the.
Ooh, somebody just said that.
Well, Luka made it to the one conference finals, but then been bounced out in the first round all the time.
Colin Coward said that.
Did he say that?
He said exactly that, and people piled on pretty good.
All right, I may have to take that back. If he said that, I may have to take that back.
Let's see. The game on ESPN, the 12.3 million for the women's game. According to Sports Media Watch, the most viewed basketball game on ESPN since Game 7 of the 2018 Eastern Conference NBA Finals, when the Cavs beat the Celtics, averaged 13.6 million.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That one game.
Yeah.
Every ESPN game since then. That's impressive.
Yes,
that's impressive.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hey, it's TC back with us on Sactown Sports. Hello, TC.
Hey, my bad earlier, y'all. Hey, I'm at a tire shop trying to get I'm trying to get my truck tire fixed. My bad, y'all.
Man,
we can hear you working away at the keyboard.
Oh man, check it. All right, so let's check it out. Hey, look, we gonna run like this. Hey, that was a great team win last night. We needed Trey Lyles. We needed everybody, man. Davion, Keon, like you said, Drake. Look, we talking about the 7. Remember I told y'all the other day, I said, man, you know what? We gonna be 7. We got to get out the mud. Well, look, man, 5 and 6 is right there. All we need is the Magic to beat the Pelicans tonight, right? What about a game and a half back, a game back?
We're game back now, I believe. Well, and then you have the tiebreaker, so it's like 2.
Yeah, so all they got to do is go on like a little, a 2-game skid or something. Let everybody go on a 2-game skid, and we right there. But I'm telling you, look, the boys, Simone, seriously, the boys is locked in right now. Now, Drakes, I like how we are defensively. I love Monk. I love everything he brought, bro. But even before he got injured, bro, it was clicking. Now that he got injured, bro, it's really clicking. The team is really bought in what Mike was talking about. They kind of really realized, like, bro, we can score 110 a game, play defense, and beat people by 10. Let's do that instead of trying to score 130, and it's a nail biter.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. You're right, TC. Love
playoff
it.
Basketball.
Check it, TC. No, he's 100% right, man. You don't have to score 120 every time. You can, and the Kings have shown it over the last 8 to 10 games. You can beat a team 109-96 or something like that.
Yeah. Thank you, TC. Yes, Mike Brown said that's playoff style basketball. Speaking of the playoffs, of course, Chris Webber was with the Kings when they were in the playoffs many, many years, and we have to credit. David Deuce Mason, I believe, on Twitter had this. Welcome back, Chris Webber.
No, the Kings put it out. The Kings sent out the email.
The Kings announced he'll be in Sacramento for the games on April 12th and 14th to promote his new memoir.
Yes.
Ooh.
C-Web coming back to town.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that.
Yeah. And he's going to throw out the first pitch at a River Cats game, too.
April 13th.
Yes.
Yeah. He was not always a big fan of the station. But
really?
Yeah, because, we're always Weber doing the Chris. What's C Webb doing? And I don't think he liked all the constant.
No, we'll get him on the show here. When
he'll come on.
Yeah, we'll get him.
He's been on a lot.
Yeah, we'll get him. Yeah, we'll get C Webb.
That's awesome.
That's
he was
huge.
Such a great player.
Yeah, and that's one of the guys that he doesn't come back often.
Yeah.
You know, and so when he does come back, and he's going to 2 Kings games, this Friday game against the Suns, I believe, and then the season finale against the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah, and so that's. I hope Mike Bibby is there too, like doing a pre and post game. Can you imagine? And you got Vlade, maybe Brad, like the whole crew, Doug right there. You know, it could be a reunion kind of night.
I have a dream. I would love to see C Webb light the beam.
Now you're asking a lot.
I know it's players, but that
would be
yeah. Because sometimes the players you can tell, like Keegan when he did it, it's like he couldn't wait to get out of there. And I don't blame him, but sometimes a player's like,
yeah.
So I mean,
okay,
wouldn't that be something?
That would be something, sort of like.
I don't think we're gonna get Jerry Lucas to do it. I've been working on that, but.
We should do something. Philly does the honorary bell ringer, before the games. We should do the honorary beam lighter after the game, and C Webb can do that, be the inaugural one or something like that.
Man, he was a great player.
Yes.
Really unique talent, too, with the ability he was such a great scoring power forward, but combining that with the great hands he had and the great passing ability.
To control the game, a great rebounder as well. That foul line jumper, elbow jumper of his, that was money as well. And, an all-time great on the Mount Rushmore of Sacramento Kings. You look at what's so crazy about this. The year he averaged 27 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and was 4th in the MVP voting that year. Like, think of it. Like, Domas is doing some great things.
Mm-hmm.
C Webb was 4th. Where's Domas going to finish this year in the MVP? He should be a top 5 based on the numbers. But I'm looking at C Webb's numbers, man, when he was here in Sacramento. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
I'll be honest, when I first heard last year, and Dave might have been the first person to say it, Carmichael Dave, when people started suggesting last season that, hey, Domas might be better than C Webb. When I first heard it, I was like, I'm not even listening to anything you ever say again.
Right.
But it's gotten to the point now where, like, the way Jerry says it, he says, Weber's a better player, but Domas has actually been more effective here overall.
Yeah, I think so. But the only thing missing from Domas is the postseason success.
Yes, sir.
C Webb carried the team to the Western Conference Finals.
And he would have had more than those 4 assists, but he played with Vlade, who had a ton of
assists also. Yep, you're right.
Did Keegan's dunk impress you more than it impressed Trey Lyles? That's next here with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Are you someone who tries to drive while distracted by your phone? Someone who props it on the steering wheel or peeks down at it for a glance? Or just scrolls and scrolls?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Kyle Draper. Equip your staff with top-notch uniforms, professionally cleaned and delivered weekly to your workplace by Alsco Uniforms, proud sponsors of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. Our services include uniforms, towels, floor mats, mops, first aid supplies, and restroom essentials to uphold cleanliness and safety standards in your business. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, visit alsco.com.
Progressive asks, what do a late-night pizza craving,
Pizza place. Can I get 1 large pepperoni pizza?
a newly licensed teen delivery driver, a guaranteed delivery time or its free offer, and your front fence have in common?
Uh-oh.
That's my fence! They can turn your stomach upside down in under 30 minutes.
I'm still getting a tip, right?
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over. And if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
I love this time of year when the azaleas begin to bloom and the singing birds' sweet dawn chorus remind us that blue skies and sunshine are at hand. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. In sports, the definition for the word master is one who's achieved a high degree of skill, and that will be on display in the highly anticipated golf tournament. In the furniture business, a master is a highly skilled craftsman, an artist even, whose work is coveted by those who appreciate design, quality, and durability. John Keyes was the mastermind of Naturewood Home Furnishings. He knew that you wanted your home to reflect your personal style, whether that was a plain coffee table or a masterpiece for you to enjoy forever. That's why when you walk into Naturewood Home Furnishings, you'll find the largest and best selection of the highest quality home furnishings in Northern California. Masterful. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
It's sloppy right now. He got him! Somebody call 911 because Murray just caught a body.
Wow. Who had that great call last night? Who was that sharp fellow there?
That must have been like a network, right? That was a network quality call.
I think so,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. That's when wherever the Broadcasting Hall of Fame is, that's induct that one right there, right?
Send it to Springfield right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Drapes
That
with
was
the call
fun,
last
man.
night on Keegan's dunk. It's the Drive Guys with you, of course. Still basking in the afterglow of that 109.95 thumping of the Clippers. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure it's a rivalry anymore.
One game rivalry. we ended it last night.
I think so. I think so.
And think about it too. I mean, we went down there and kicked their butts also last time out, and so this rivalry might be over right now. We're not even worried about the Clippers. And you know what was so fantastic about last night's game? Obviously, contributions from the bench and everybody, but James Harden and Paul George, they're two scoring options, especially with Kawhi Leonard out. Just 6 of 19, 24 points combined. Like, think about that. You're talking 2 Hall of Famers, and they were outscored almost. They were outscored by Trey Lyles and Davion Mitchell last night.
Yeah.
2 combined. Like, tremendous effort from the Kings last night.
I thought some of the comments from the Clippers postgame were really interesting. James Harden clearly did not really want to talk to the media, but what he said, and this wasn't, sitting down with the media, it was in the actual locker room, and he said, well, they're blitzing me. What can I do? They're doubling me. They did a really good job of that. And they did. They really did. Yeah. And then Paul George said the same thing. And the reporter asked Paul George, well, how do you think you can get James Harden going? Because, it's been 4 weeks since he's had a 20-point game.
Really?
So they asked Paul George, and he was, hey, I'm not a coach. Next question. So it's like, wow. That team that we talked about it earlier this year, it's like, how is that team getting along so well? And they don't have any problems. And now I'm not saying they have problems, but they're clearly not playing very well.
Yeah.
And now they got, Kawhi missing that game with a knee injury. To me, they almost looked like they were fearing that, oh no, Kawhi's hurt, we're done.
Yeah, it looked like they checked out early
Yeah.
in that game. And, I understand it's the end of a 4-game road trip. You were out east for the first 3. Probably
Which
some
they
dead
won.
legs. Yeah, but they won, though. They were 3-0. And so I thought they had turned the corner and got back to playing Clippers basketball like we saw earlier this season. And so I just think, when you looked at what took place last night, some of their issues reared its ugly head again, with the James Harden just going 1 of 7, Domas abusing Zubats out there. I just thought, and then you look at Ty Lue's situation with his contract as well. He's a lame duck coach too. And so I just think they got a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and obviously the Paul George contract situation as well. And I think, when you have a team like that's going through some issues, anytime there's some stress involved, you get tested. And if you're not all together and all locked in, then it could fall apart. And that's what I'm thinking about the Clippers. 3 months ago, we were talking about them as a potential NBA Finals. Man, I don't want to see them in the playoffs. Now it's like they got some issues, and so I say bring them on.
Yeah, it's like a house, right? If the foundation isn't rock solid, then as soon as there's some stormy weather or whatever, then the whole thing's going to start to crumble a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And that seems to be what's happening. And, still, I think, was this their last road game? I think they
really?
maybe have one more or something in the season. But yeah, so I'm sure they're hoping to get home and right the ship. But this Kawhi Leonard injury situation, the Paul George, I mentioned the Ty Lue, like a lot of things are going on with this Clippers team.
We were just talking a moment ago about Chris Webber, who's coming back later this month. He's coming to Sacramento promoting his book, and he's going to be at a couple Kings games. So your guy, Ryan Williams-Art, on the chat, he says, I'm going to call a timeout on this Webber talk. Oh, wait, do I have a timeout?
Everybody got jokes. Everybody got
your
jokes.
Guy.
That's not my guy. That's not my guy. He claims to be my guy, and then he threw shade at me yesterday. And so that's not come on, that's a low blow, Ryan. I tell you what, Ryan Williams-Art would be the first one in line to get a Chris Webber autograph, though. That's a low blow.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I know Jay keeps a rolling list of guys for drapes. Is there an anti-guy list or a not my guy list? Okay.
Ryan Williams-Art might be at the top of that list.
I don't want to be a hater, but
he might have to be at the top of that list.
So anti-guy.
Yeah,
not
my guy list.
Perfect.
Yeah. We haven't started one, but we can get one started. But can I have a not my guy my guy, the same guy on my guy list too? Because here's the thing.
Sure.
Wow, I don't think
so.
A Venn diagram? No?
Yeah, like let's say somebody goes 0 for 20 from the field, or Jalen Hurts throws 5 picks against the Cowboys
at the same time. But you could go.
But I can move them. No, I can. I can slide them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay,
sure.
yeah,
okay.
let's do that.
I can monitor that. Yep, I'll get it started. Not my guy
fridge
list.
magnet.
Right
over here.
Exactly. Okay. Yes.
Clean, not clean, open, close.
See, that's good because then there's hope for those of. I don't know. I imagine I'm going to end up on that list at some point.
Right.
Not my guys. We could always end up.
Oh, exactly. And there's a couple of people who stay on that not my guy list. Ryan Williams-Art, Campio's he's coming around.
Loves you.
Yeah, he's coming around on me now.
A great call, Draper.
He's my guy, no doubt. So he's on to my guy. But there's a couple people that's just not going to be my guy.
So a guy gives you a wallet and he still ends up on your not my guy.
No, because it was a Kirkland wallet. It had Kirkland on there. Somebody tweeted at me today too. I don't know if you saw this or not. They were playing golf, and sure enough, they found a Kirkland golf ball.
That's a popular ball, isn't it?
It really is, right? My guy out at Turkey Creek today, ? Kyle Draper, Kirkland golf ball. And not only that.
What are you doing at Turkey Creek's a pretty tough track, isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't out there today.
No, I'm just saying, what is somebody doing out there with a Kirkland? That's like at Augusta National.
Right.
There's a Kirkland there.
But this guy, Brickhouse Industries, he had the Kirkland golf ball out there. Maybe he just found
whatever
it.
Works.
Yeah, whatever works.
Well, we
whatever
love
works.
Brickhouse. Yay.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And let me tell you something. Last week, I was in the Bay Area because our daughter was going to give birth.
Yeah.
And I could hear you. I was in Daly City, and I just punched up the station, and I heard you guys, and I heard this caller. It was Will.
Will, our guy Will. Okay.
And here he is. Will, how are you today, sir?
Man, y'all need to calm down, man. Y'all need to calm down. Look.
Well, what's up, baby?
Listen,
Look, we won the games, but all this Clippers conspiracy stuff there, leave that alone. Look, they weren't into it. We needed the game. We got the game. That's the bottom line. Everybody has bad. Look, we win 3 in a row and come home and stink up the joint. Against the Wizards or somebody. That's just the way it is. James, that's how the NBA is.
I know, but they got a lot of issues, Will. They got some issues,
well since the break.
But you know what? For our discussion, it doesn't matter. We don't care about the Clippers issues, man. We just care. We just glad we won that game. We got to keep winning. We don't care about nobody else's issues. We got to keep winning. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
We got to keep winning.
Keep winning no matter what. No matter who's playing, who's out, whatever. I hear you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Look, Harden he's just not in the flow. A lot of times, we got guys. Look at HB. HB would come up and bust 30, and then for 3 weeks, man, where's HB? Where's HB, man? Hey, tell your boys before you, Styles and Watkins.
Yeah.
Every time a boy Watkins have a chance to say something about Bron, it's negative, man. Look, Drake, educate that dude, man. Look, Bron is one of the best to ever play the game. Yeah. Okay, I ain't gonna say he the GOAT. Him and Michael, they could be 2 GOATs. Okay, this guy's still the best player on the Lakers squad. Okay, 39. Okay, he bust like 9 threes the other day, scored 40. But I didn't hear him say nothing about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, let's be honest. Quit criticizing Bron. Bron ain't nobody ever gonna be. We ain't gonna never see another Bron. We ain't gonna never see a guy 40 years old. Drake, can we get out there with him and run the court?
Heck no. Heck no, shoot. But I tell you, Will, you will never. I will never say anything bad about LeBron James. I'm actually a LeBron guy. I've been impressed with his career, man.
Not you, but I'm saying a lot of these guys always they don't miss a moment to say something negative about Bron. They don't really realize they watching, man. This guy, man. If you know basketball, this guy, man, almost 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's still the best player on the Lakers. He's still one of the best. He in the top 5 in the NBA, I believe, or top 10. He's up there.
Will, if you had to pick, and I know you kind of said, they're co-GOATs. If you had to pick best player, Michael or LeBron, you had to pick one. Who's the best player?
See, that's not fair. But that's not fair because overall, in all aspects of the game, Bron is number one. Bron, everything.
Why is that not fair? You can answer however you want. How is it not fair? You can pick whichever one you want.
Because Bron is so high in other categories. Michael was the killer as far as scoring. Him and Kobe. They were the Black Mamba and Jordan. But Bron consistent for 20 years. Rebounds, assists, scoring. Defense. See, that's what I'm saying. You got to put all that in there.
Yeah.
You can't just. Michael was the assassin. Michael was the assassin. Kobe was the assassin. But to play this long at the level where he is, he got to be considered the GOAT. He got to be. You can't just say he's not in the question. He can play 2 more years.
Yeah,
you're right, Will.
He's gonna wait till Bronny's playing with him. Mm-hmm.
Right, Drake.
Yeah, you're right, man. LeBron is still at the top. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. If I'm drafting a team, I'm taking LeBron James number 1 over Michael Jordan any day. That's if I'm starting a franchise, because I could plug LeBron in all over the court.
Sure.
He could be my point guard. He could be my 2, my 3, my 4. He could be my small ball 5. LeBron can do it all. So I'm picking LeBron James.
I wasn't trying to set Will up or anything, but I don't know if he thought I was trying to lure him into a trap. But he said, that's not fair. Well, he didn't really have an answer.
He didn't have an answer.
I see what he's saying.
I'll answer from my guy, Will.
Peak value is Michael, but he's saying career LeBron is unmatched.
Man.
Unmatched. All right. We haven't told you yet what grade Trey Lyles gave to that amazing Keegan dunk. He was not impressed. We have that for you next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Well, there's one bullet dodged a couple days ago. Kyle Draper being about as real about the Kings' chances as we've ever heard him. He said, look, you don't beat the Clippers. You're staring down the barrel of a 3-game losing streak.
Yes.
Now, at least that's off the board.
That's off the board.
Yeah.
And now, you can go in there and, of this 4-game trip, you got to think tomorrow in New York and then Sunday in Brooklyn are your two best chances because you got the Celtics and OKC. I'm giving the Kings a puncher's chance tomorrow. I think Madison Square Garden will bring out the best in De'Aaron Fox. The Knicks are banged up right now, too.
They've lost a few in a row.
They've lost, they're reeling a little bit. I think Josh Hart right now is questionable, I think I saw as well. And so, a chance for the Kings, in my opinion, to steal one tomorrow.
Yeah, the Knicks have lost 3 in a row. Did you hear Tibbs' press conference after their recent loss?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we'll have to see if we can get that sound for you. I know Styles and Watkins had it, where somebody asked him about Brunson, and he just kept saying he was fouled, and he just kept repeating.
Oh, he just kept saying
That's all
that.
he kept saying.
Oh man,
over and over and over. So we'll get that. Yeah. Okay. This is. Here's Tibbs when asked about Jalen Brunson.
He's getting fouled. 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 He's getting fouled.
Thanks, Coach.
That's like Rain Man, isn't it?
That's awesome. Hey, man, he's beating you over the head with it. When you lay your head down on the pillow at night, that's what you're going to remember. He got fouled. He's getting fouled.
He's getting.
And that's awesome.
Of course he gets fouled. He got fouled.
fouled.
So now, Allen is saying he's worried. Alan Styles said, oh, that means the officials are going to, how officials sometimes they hear the coaches complain. And
I'm not buying that. Not at all. I mean, still got another day before the game. It's going to be a different officiating crew. I don't think Scott Foster or whoever the official is going to be for tomorrow is sitting at home saying, ooh, because Tibbs said, no, I'm
Scott
not buying
Foster had that look last night. I don't know.
He made some bad calls though last night. He pissed me off.
I really don't want to be here.
Right. He made a couple of calls where it was like, don't you dare question his calls. And I'm like, dude, no, you got that one wrong. Like, the continuation one, who was it? Was it De'Aaron Fox or somebody? Or
no, it was
Keon. Yeah, Keon.
And
Keon
he literally, as he was shooting it, Westbrook was holding his arm.
Yeah. And he's like, no, that's on the floor. And I'm like, what? What are you doing?
And they called that terrible foul that sent Harden to the line and was not a foul. And then Mike got a little overzealous and he challenged the foul on Paul George, which was a terrible challenge.
Yeah, that was a terrible challenge.
Awful
challenge. We knew that one was going to fail.
Scott Foster looked like he knew, like, the game down the road in San Francisco, that's on national TV. That's the game I should be doing. I don't really want to be here. Right?
Yeah, it was. I was shocked that he was there, to be honest. I'm like, oh, Scott Foster's doing one of our games, especially when you had the national. You know what's interesting? Well, I guess they could have switched it, though, but that was supposed to be the national game last night.
Yeah.
Clippers and Kings. And so maybe he's bummed about that, right? He's like, I got to sign this one. I was supposed to be on that one. So,
Simone, could we please play it one more time? Drape's call on the Keegan dunk last night. You heard it. You saw it.
It's sloppy right now. He got him. Somebody
obviously the call is a 10.
Thank you.
The guy who made the call. What would you grade? Not your call, but the dunk itself. 0 to 10. What would you give it?
I'd give it about an 8. 8.5. 8.5 now. Because it was over Big Zubats as well. It's coming down the lane. It was almost like a Statue of Liberty kind of dunk by Keegan. So I give it an 8.5 or so.
Yeah, because he was reaching and leaning. He didn't have a great deal of authority.
Right.
But still an impressive dunk. Well, somebody after the game asked Trey Lyles what they thought of the dunk, and I guess he was not impressed.
It's great. Keegan can score in a variety of ways, 3-level scorer. So when he's aggressive, when he's going out there and taking shots and making shots and being aggressive on both ends of the floor because he can defend as well, he's the player that we need, and that's what we need from him all the time.
Well, we didn't have that's on me, but we have at some point he was asked about the dunk, and Keegan said, about a 6. 6,
dude. They're not going to give Keegan any love on these dunks, man. It's
right.
Malika,
I understand that.
it's like, and I think because it's Keegan, and he's looking for that approval maybe from some of the veterans.
Yeah,
they're like, no, we're not going to give it to you, young fella.
That's the thing. We know you want it, so you ain't going
to. Right, you ain't going to get it. You know exactly. And so
you don't need it so much.
I got you, Keegan. I said it was an 8.5, man. And you got my stamp of approval on that one. That was funny, man. And I recalled the story. Remember, JaVale McGee had the dunk, and Malik gave him the 2 thumbs down and everything. It's like, what does it take to get approval here from this team for your dunks? My God.
That was one of the coolest moments last night. I'm not sure you doing the game were able to, you probably saw it. Maybe you didn't. But at one point they showed Malik. Did you see that on the video board?
Yes.
Sitting next to Keon.
What'd he do?
Well, he was like pointing at him and pointing at the camera. And then he was
I did see that.
It was really funny.
Yeah, because I heard the crowd give a big cheer for when they saw Malik and he was pointing. Yeah, I do remember seeing that yesterday.
You don't usually see that during play where they're showing the guy on the sideline, and you're right. People saw Malik and they're like, it's Malik.
And I tell you what, during the game, and we showed a lot of cutaways of him, Malik, he was really engaged in that game. Right?
I noticed that.
He was up off the bench. He sprung up. He was really engaged, and that was good to see, man. Obviously a messed up injury for him, 4 to 6 weeks, but he was still part of the team, still engaged. I like seeing that.
I think it was a great Jason Anderson posted on X, I should say, some video of Malik and how active he was.
Oh, really? Somebody did put that out there.
Yeah. Anyway, here is Trey Lyles' evaluation of Keegan's dunk.
Trey, if you had to rate Keegan's dunk, where would that be on the 1 through 10 scale?
It was all right. I'll give it like a 6.
Sounding like Monk up there. You could do better.
Yeah. Keegan can jump. He be playing with y'all, but he can jump. So, but good for him. I'm glad he was aggressive.
Yeah.
I
mean, he gave him a little bit of credit.
Right.
He could jump.
It's all right. He could jump. I know exactly the feeling, Trey. I know the vibe he was giving off. It's like, my son, Dad, I made 2 3-pointers. That was all right, And so you don't want to give him that full approval yet, and so it's that was hilarious,
right?
Man.
Because you want him to keep striving,
right? Keep striving.
Right?
You haven't done anything yet, You got to dunk on 2 7-footers next time or something like that. Keep pushing the bar if you're the Kings.
Yeah. One of the plays that really stood out that Keegan made last night again was the passing. I know last game we talked about him as a distributor because he had 3 assists, but he had a beautiful pass last night to Domas. And Domas,
did you see Domas's reaction?
Like, whoa, where'd that come from?
That was his first assist last night too. I need to look at the box score. Did he have more than 1 assist?
2.
Yeah, he had 2 assists, but that one to Domas, that was beautiful. And Domas was like, whoa. Usually it's the other way around, right? Domas delivering the dimes, but this was Keegan Murray showing off the passing skills. And we had talked about this yesterday in our show. Like, Keegan is not a facilitator.
Yeah.
Even at Iowa, he averaged 1 assist per game in college. He's not a guy that facilitates. He's a guy that scores the rock. And so for him to pull off a nifty pass last night, that was impressive.
But, if you've been around basketball much, that's one of the things that you can't really teach is the court vision.
Yeah.
And just not just seeing where guys are, but just an understanding visually of where they're going and where the defense is. You either have it or you don't. Keegan hasn't had to use it, but that play last night showed me, okay, he's got that ability.
Yes.
He has good court vision.
Right. And one thing, it seems like what they're doing with Keegan.
Pete Maravich.
Right. No, he's not out there like that. But they're trying to add in little things year by year with Keegan, and it's baby steps. And that's something we talked about going into next season for him, becoming a facilitator, add that to his game as well. And, if you're a basketball player, you're right. Sometimes it's not inherent. It's not just natural, but if you have the ball enough, if you want to be considered a great player, you should be able to make others around you better.
Maybe I'm overlooking somebody, but in the history of the game, you can think of guys who've worked on their handle, guys who've become better shooters, better rebounders, defenders. I can't really think of anybody who's gone from being just kind of he doesn't really see the floor to, wow, look at that.
Right,
now he's a great distributor.
That's a good point. Yeah, I can't think of anybody that just all of a sudden became a great passer.
Some guys like Magic, and I don't know about you, but to me, those are the two that stand out. Magic and LeBron.
Yeah,
just like almost like
vision.
360 panoramic vision.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody that went from just a pure shooter to all of a sudden a playmaker. It just doesn't I don't view Kevin Durant as a guy that is a playmaker, like court vision. He's a scorer, and so even he hasn't made that leap, I don't think, in my opinion.
Yeah, when I was doing stuff on the Warrior Station, I said one time that I thought Jordan Poole was a better playmaker than Durant. And
you said that? People went off on you then.
Yeah. But to your point, I agree with you. Yeah, Durant is he just not quite. That's not what he does.
He can pass, but it's not like you're right.
Yeah. What did you think of Domas staying in hunting that triple double?
You always say that, man. You always say that,
question.
dude. Was he hunting the triple double?
I'm okay. I thought a lot about it because
you're okay with this one.
Yeah, I've said, well, the great thing about his triple doubles is they came within the flow of the game. So last night it's like, but I realize he's not getting the attention he deserves as it is, and that's one of the things that when it comes to all league and stuff like that, where he stands to make down the road a lot of money. I get it. That's one of the things that's going to help him.
Yeah, and it's a thing where
it shouldn't, but it is a reality.
If you're Coach Mike Brown, you're throwing him a bone, you're helping him out, And as a player, you got to appreciate that, right? And so, how many times have we seen in baseball a pitcher get pulled on the cusp of a no-hitter or something like that? And it's like, well, in this case, Mike Brown is saying, no, I know these stats are important to you. This will help you, in terms of awards later in the season. So I'm gonna leave you out there. I'm okay with it.
And the awards now in the NBA quite often mean millions of dollars too. Yeah. No matter how the rest of the season goes, the Kings may be about to pay the price of success. That's next. Drive, guys. Sactown Sports.
It's all right. I'll give it like a 6. Keegan can jump.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Fidium Fiber, Dawson Oil Company, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling.
I'm Ken Korak with our first Green and Gold report for 2024, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the network made for streaming. Well, for the A's to turn around their fortunes this year, they'll have to play better defense than they've shown early in the season. Now, bright spots on the mound. Paul Blackburn went 7 in the last game of the Cleveland series, 3 hits and no runs. And then Kyle Muller in the first game against the Red Sox comes out of the bullpen, 5 1/3, 1 hit, and 6 strikeouts.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Plus, with free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation today. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Under Mike Brown, the Kings have had a lot of success the last 2 years, and now it looks, Drapes, like they may have to pay the price for that success.
Really?
Well, because we have Steve Clifford resigning as coach of the Charlotte Hornets, and apparently management there was like, okay, if he came back. They haven't won a lot of games, but he's a good coach, and they apparently felt like, yeah, well, you know, you can come back, and he just didn't want to come back, and he's going to move into the front office. So the Hornets looking for a head coach, and you know what that means.
Yes. Our guy, Jordy Fernandez, is probably going to be a leading candidate out there in Charlotte. It was Atlanta last year also where he was a candidate as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's yeah, you're right about that.
Among the league's assistant coaching candidates expected to be considered in the Charlotte process, Jordy Fernandez alongside Charles Lee, Boston, Chris Quinn with the Heat, Kevin Young with the Suns, and others. But you have to think Jordy Fernandez has got to be one of the top candidates there.
Yeah, and, you know, he's done an excellent job, you know, with Team Canada as well. And so he's one of the young up-and-comers in the NBA, does a fantastic job working with Mike Brown and trying to craft a defensive game plan. We saw it in action last night when the players follow it to a T. And so that's it's sort of like, you know, Mike Brown hasn't reached, obviously, Bill Belichick's level, but when you have some success, you know, teams start looking to see, all right, you know, can I poach some of your guys? And you look at, you know, the Celtics and with Charles Lee now, who's also a young up-and-comer, was with the Milwaukee Bucks before that. And so, yeah, I would hate to see Jordy go because, you know, I see his wife and kids all the time before the games. You know, they're all in on Sacramento, all in on the Kings, but it would be well-deserved, man, him to get a shot.
Sure. And we know him here in Sacramento. We know how capable he is. Some of the other names that I mentioned, unless you're a real basketball fan, some of those names you don't know. My point being that in recent years, especially in basketball and in baseball too, with managers, more and more, Drapes, we see teams hire people that we just don't know. You know, there was a time when you knew all the coaches and managers, right? It's kind of a revolving door, but if it wasn't a revolving door, it was like, well, this guy's a big name. And now, is it the analytics or something that have convinced teams that you don't need necessarily those big names to run your team?
Yeah, I think analytics, I think, you know, connecting with today's player, you know, you can go around the league. Look at Joe Mazzulla in Boston, Will Hardy in Utah as well. You know, guys where you're just like, where'd they come from? You know, we don't know them. And so, you know, a Charles Lee kind of guy, like he's paid his dues. He's been out there. But, you know, it's not like he's a former player at a high level or a longtime coach or his dad was a coach or anything like that. I think when you look at the success of guys like Jamal Mosley in Orlando, J.B. Bickerstaff in Cleveland.
The guy in New Orleans.
Willie Green. I think they're looking for younger guys that connect well with today's players. And you're right. The analytics, take care of itself. It doesn't matter who your coach is. The analytics are the analytics. And so I think being able to motivate and connect with today's players is just as important.
In baseball, we know that, well, I don't think we know all of it, but more than ever, the managers are just kind of the guy standing there that is the face
right.
of the team as far as being, he's the dugout leader, but he doesn't have that many decisions to make. I don't think it's the same. My point is that the front office decides on the lineups based on who the other pitcher is, spin rate, blah, all kinds of stuff that I don't think most fans would believe it if we knew the extent of it. You can't really do that in basketball.
No,
you can't have the front office dictating pregame the decisions that a coach is going to make.
No, it's analytics, is definitely different, when it comes to baseball. Baseball weighs heavily on numbers and every decision.
Joe Madden said guys would come into the dugout and tell you what to do, and they just have almost no respect for the fact that you've been a manager your whole life.
Yeah. Yeah, in basketball you can't do that. And I think basketball and what we've seen from Mike Brown too, a lot of it is feel too. A lot of it is, substitution patterns, who starts, sure, you could look at, the on-off numbers and the plus minus and all that, but sometimes you got to have a feel. And like for Mike Brown to have a feel from when to insert Keon Ellis in there, for Mike Brown to have a feel from when to insert Alex Lynn, let's say, and so it's different in basketball. That's for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And look what the Bucks did. They had Coach Budenholzer.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, well, we're done with that. You're bringing Adrian Griffin. And then 43 games?
Yeah.
And nope, that didn't work. And I know he was a player, so he was a little bit known.
Yeah.
But as a coach, he wasn't. Then you go back and get Doc.
And you get Doc, who's been around, for a while. And so I think it depends on your team. I think when you're looking at a young team, like let's say in Orlando, you want a younger coach, somebody that can relate. If you want a championship contender, Milwaukee, for instance, a veteran team, Bobby Portis, Lopez, all those guys, Dame Lillard. You don't want some young whippersnapper that hasn't held that position before. And I think that's where Adrian Griffin ran into some trouble. Like, sure, he had been an assistant before, but did he have the trust of those players? Did Dame buy in? Did Giannis buy in? Doc Rivers actually comes with a resume, comes with a pedigree. I'll also say, look at Mike Brown here in Sacramento. I think one of the reasons why he has succeeded is because of his resume, because he's been to the NBA Finals as a head coach, because he's coached some of the game's greatest players. I think players respect that.
Do you think that even though Milwaukee is second in the East right now, do you think that I would be fair? And I do this. I consider them to this point one of the more disappointing teams in the league.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. They're the Clippers of the Eastern Conference. They got the same record as the Clippers. Mm-hmm. And so I do think they've been disappointing. Like, they just lost to Washington yesterday. Washington beat them. The same team that, we criticize and just lambasted the Kings for losing to. They just beat the Milwaukee Bucks. And
they're 18-20 on the road, which is not what you expect from a real contender.
If we're talking disappointments, I would say them and the Phoenix Suns probably the two biggest disappointments in the league this year.
Mm-hmm. Memphis, I know a lot of people didn't expect much because Ja was going to be out, but last year they were an excellent team. They're 25 and 50.
Yeah, they were number 2 in the West last year, but then the Steven Adams injury, the Ja Morant situation, they made some trades, some turnover, and Ja Morant, who just got rid of his agent today, that just made news. Yeah, Jim Tanner, longtime agent, fired by Ja Morant. Like, he's the thing that holds it all together. I mean, he's a superstar, and so they're tanking right now for a pick too. Like, the Marcus Smart situation hasn't worked out because he's been hurt, and so don't be shocked though, Whitey, if next year Memphis is back in the mix.
I won't be.
Right? Like, this is almost like Spurs and Tim Duncan back in the day when, David Robinson got hurt and then they got the number 1 pick, brought Tim Duncan in, and then bam. Not saying, to that level, but Or like the Warriors, let's say. Steph Curry and them get hurt, then you can get Kuminga and Wiseman. You get a high draft pick. I think when you look at Memphis, they'll have a high draft pick, and they'll have Ja Morant coming back and Marcus Smart coming back. I think they'll be a contender in the Western Conference.
By the way, another guy that you wanted at the deadline that I wasn't crazy about, he had another big game last night, Wiggins.
I told you, big fella.
Yeah, but he also is like, he's gone. You never know where he is half the time, and bless him, but that's an issue as well. But he played well against Luka.
He played well against Luka, and they got a big win.
Yeah.
We were pulling for them. Well, we were pulling for the Mavs to lose last night.
You were glad to hear that Dallas lost.
Exactly. That's the best way to put it, right? And they got one more between those two teams, so I'm going to have to pull for Dallas to lose again. So.
Now, Drapes, he says he may come up with a slogan for the Kings
I'm still
today.
working on that.
A slogan that basically says, don't give up on finishing out of the play-in.
Yeah.
Emma Drock has a suggestion for you on the text line. The text line, by the way, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140, same as our phone number here. He says, strive for 5. And he's put an exclamation mark on it to give it that little zip.
We got to get a little more creative, right? What he just looked in the cereal box and pulled that out? Like,
he's just trying to help
strive for 5. I'm going to come up with something. I'm going to do my best to come up with something better than that, Kings fan. Strive for 5. Come on. That's so basic, right? That's so.
What was the other? Stay alive for 5.
Yeah,
fix for 6. Get your cat fixed for 6 or something. It's not easy.
It is not easy.
Trying,
but I give them credit. They're trying, but man. So are we? You know what? I'm gonna come up with something. Let me just say, I'll come up with something because we're talking top 6, not necessarily just 5, not necessarily just 6. We're talking playoffs, top 6.
What a massive achievement that would be, right?
It really would. Losing two of your top 6 guys, and Kevin Huerter and Malik, given the fact that this Western Conference is tougher this year, given the fact that you really haven't strung together, they don't have any win streaks longer than 3 other than the one. How much? What did they win? 5, I think, or something like that. 5 or 6.
They came home in the Pelicans.
Outside of that, it's been 2 or 3 wins here, a couple losses. Like they really haven't put together a great 2-week stretch of wins.
When we come back here, looks like I'm about to crush another one of my bold off-season predictions.
Ooh.
Tell you all about that next. Drive Guy, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk. Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Drapes, the guy who had the great call last night. Whitey Gleason, the guy who did the song on Twitter today that a lot of people like, but not Drapes so much. But I know how that goes. Anyway, thanks for being with us today. How about this? Jerry West has made the Hall of Fame for the third time.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's a Hall of Famer, and I mean the big Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame for a record third time. What?
Well deserved, man. That's the logo, man. That's Jerry West. You know, it's everything he touches seems to turn to gold, especially, you know, as a contributor, you know, when he was, you know, helping out the Lakers, helped out Charlotte, helped out the Warriors. You know, he's had his hands on a lot of winning franchises.
Yeah, Jerry West, 85. He got into the Basketball Hall of Fame as a player, 1979, member of the 1960 U.S. Olympic team in 2010, which, by the way, I want to say Jerry Lucas was on that team, but I'm kind of fixated on Jerry Lucas these days. And then Jerry West also, his recent induction is for his work as a contributor. So GM of the Lakers and the Grizzlies. And as you said, a consultant with the Warriors and the Clippers. While in those roles, he's won 8 championships and was twice named Executive of the Year in the NBA and 1 championship as a player.
Well deserved, man. It's the logo, right? You know, it's and I just looked it up. Yes, Jerry Lucas was on that team with Jerry West, that 1960 team. Listen to the Walt Bellamy. Remember Walt Bellamy? He was a great player. Jerry Lucas. Those are the only ones that I know offhand.
Well, Oscar
was
on that team.
Oh yeah, Oscar. I don't even know how I skipped over it. I just totally skipped over Oscar Robertson. Yeah, on that team.
Even I wasn't born then, but that was a great team.
Great team. Yeah. Won the gold. Head coach Pete Newell. Ooh. Yeah, the great Pete Newell. Yes. So Cal Golden Bear.
You know, with the Kings winning last night, we talked about Davion, and maybe Davion now is a new sixth man, right? Davion, Trey. I don't know, some combination of them as the sixth man, giving you the type of things that you traditionally need from a sixth man?
I think so. I think, you know, when you look at those two guys, you know, and they provide different things, but one thing you want to do as a sixth man is provide some energy, be able to change the game, provide some toughness, and I think that's where Trey comes in. And then if Davion is scoring, that's the key for Davion. We know he's going to bring the defense, but if he's knocking down shots, talk about who can replace Malik Monk. Well, nobody, but we need bench scoring. And if Davion can do it like he did last night, I think, you know, that's going to be huge for this team.
I go back to the summer. I was still doing a show with Chris Watkins, and then you were doing a lot of afternoon stuff. So we'd cross over with you, and we'd say, hey, and I think I just met you literally. Yeah. Go, hey, Drapes, we want to share with you our predictions.
Bold predictions. Go, here we go again.
And we didn't hit on all of them, certainly, or haven't yet. But one of my bold predictions was that Davion Mitchell was going to shoot 35% from the three-point line After last night,
Where's
Davion
he at?
Mitchell is at 359.
Right? That's huge, man. Is that bold of a prediction now? Or?
Well, it's too late now
It's
to
too
say
late
anything about it now.
I should have called it out back then, but no, he's been fantastic, man, from a 3-point line. And I go back to the work he did with Jimmy Alapag, the assistant coach, but also he worked with Brandon Payne, Steph Curry's shooting coach, this past offseason. And the shot just looks so much better for Davion this season. I mean, the comfort level, the confidence doesn't seem rushed. It's been, I think, one of the biggest like revelations here this second half of the season. Davion Mitchell. I'm looking at the numbers right here, Whitey. Let's go through the last couple of months when it comes to shooting for Davion Mitchell. Starting with, oh my gosh, this is impressive. So October, 3 games, 20% from 3.
Yeah, wasn't quite falling.
November, 30.6. December, 0. He only took 7 threes in December. 0. Didn't make any.
That'll bring your percentage down.
That'll bring it. January, 31.6. But then February, 47.6 from 3. March, 41.7. And then obviously, April just started. But these last 2 months, we've seen a dramatic improvement in his shot. I think, one thing, when I watch Davion and his improvement, what I see is that the game slows down for him. It's hard to quantify, but you could just see the way he moves. He seems so much sure of himself, when to take the shot, when to drive, And I remember last year I talked about him and Mike Brown's system. I didn't think it was good for him, but he's finally adjusted and figured out a spot. He was used to having the ball in his hands, running a more traditional pick and roll kind of system. And that's what he worked on all the offseason before that with Chris Paul and working on how to read the defenses off the pick and roll. Now you got an entirely new system that you have to adjust to. And so I think it's taken him some time, but he's figured out where his opportunities are in this offense.
You can see how much more comfortable he is.
Yeah.
So he's not second guessing anything he's doing. And now, obviously, it's unfortunate, but there's some upside with Malik out, especially now. Davion, he already had a role, but now he has an even larger role. And he knows that he's going to play every game and he's going to play significant minutes.
Yeah, last night he played 25 minutes and change. I mean, he's going to be that first guard off the bench. Let's call it what it is, with no Malik Monk. And so he's going to be asked to produce at a high level. And so far, so good. I mean, let's not forget the kid's a lottery pick. The kid won a national championship at Baylor. He was starting guard on that Baylor team. So he has skills. It just needs to manifest itself more consistently. In the last 2 months, he's been doing that.
Remember yesterday we were talking about Rondo and we were talking about the death of the traditional point guard. I think Davion's got a lot of traditional point guard in his game.
I think so. And I mentioned about Chris Paul coming out of college. That's who he worked out with in the offseason before his first year. And we know Chris Paul is a traditional point guard.
Yeah.
It was, reading the defenses. And that's also one thing he worked with Jimmy as well, is when you come off the screens, where's your opportunity? How do you spray the ball? Where do you pass the ball to? Where's the driving lanes? And so we know with Davion, work ethic is never going to be questioned, And when you play at that level, he's been a star wherever he's been, obviously at Baylor, even back in Hinesville, Georgia, he was a stud. And so it's just a matter of time, and he finally feels comfortable. I go back to what Jerry Reynolds said, too, about Peja Stojakovic, about Keegan Murray. This is Davion's 3rd year. And so now we're seeing the leap here. It took a little while this year, but now we're seeing the leap where he's much more comfortable with himself out there.
It's funny hearing you talk about spraying the ball. And I know that's the correct term, but, you get a little weary of it. I almost asked Coach about what he had to say to you about the spray threes, and I thought, I don't want to like make it look like I wouldn't be trying to make you look bad, or it would look like that. But he's pretty happy about the way they're spraying the threes.
How are you going to ask the question? Were you going to be like, "Hey, Coach Drape said," is that how you're going to be? Like, you going to throw me under the bus like that?
What are your TV announcers? Really tired of you talking about the spray threes. What would you say to him tonight? Yeah,
right.
So, that might not come across.
Yeah,
well,
that's not a good. I'm glad you didn't do that.
I'm thinking of the way to phrase it, and I also want to thank you because here I am talking about, I got this bold prediction. And you did not bring up the fact that I also said that Sasha would start 40-something games this year.
How many has he started? 2? If that, not 40. Hey, that's the thing about bold predictions. That's sometimes they're wrong. You're going out on the limb. That one didn't pan out. That one did not pan out at all.
Yeah. What did you think of Sasha last night? He still, it looks like, maybe, but it's just not happening.
I thought he would have got some more minutes last
exactly.
night. He came in the first half. Let me look at the box score here. First
2 free
half,
throws, I think.
Yeah, 2 free throws. And in the first half, he played, Sasha played 5 minutes, second half 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You think you would get some more minutes in that kind of game last night? It just,
they don't need them.
They don't need them. Yeah, exactly.
Why are we talking so much about the Kings offense when the defense has been so eye-poppingly good? Next to the Drive Guy, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Are you someone who tries to drive while distracted by your phone? Someone who props it on the steering wheel or peeks down at it for a glance? Or just scrolls and scrolls?
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
This is for the men who never settle. The ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie. The type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. And the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through April 23rd, get a $15 gift card when you buy 5 or more quarts of Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H-test versus API SP test limits.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point. and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered FlexSteel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel. Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Drive guys with you on your home of the Kings. Sacramento soon could be at least a temporary home of the A's. Yeah. We don't have any news report on today's meeting yet. Keep an eye on it. We may not get any announcement today. We could get some kind of announcement as soon as tomorrow, but just we are keeping an eye on the situation. Just checking Carmichael Dave on Twitter. He has some interesting things to say on this whole situation, what it is, what it isn't. Nothing new, no breaking news, but we'll have to circle back to some of these thoughts on what he says this whole situation is and was what it is. I'm not sure I agree with Carmichael Dave.
Really?
Right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
A little smoke here.
So we will get to that. But for now, we're talking about the Sacramento Kings, and people are excited about the Kings. That roller coaster now is on the way up, Drapes.
It is, man, and it feels good, right?
We got our hands out. Yeah.
We're feeling good. 2 straight wins, and man, you got this 4-game road trip, Whitey. What do we need? 3-1, 2-2. You'd be happy with?
The end here on our chat says I can't help but think, what if the Kings just win out the rest of the season? They can beat everyone left on the schedule, realistically.
That's just a homer talking right there. Like
that's a fan.
That's a
fan.
I
Tall
guess.
task, but momentum is a crazy thing. Comments the end.
Boston though,
and in the end, the love you take is equal to the.
When's the last time we beat the Celtics? I gotta look that up. It's been a while. I don't know if we've beaten them since I've been here, and this is my 4th year.
You would know.
Yeah, and there have been some bad losses. I'm about to look that up right now because that's the one where I'm like, I just don't know, guys. Second night of a back-to-back, too.
I can tell you it was February of 1986.
Oh, you remember that?
When Larry Bird missed 2 free throws and said, these are the best fans in the NBA.
Right.
That was a lot.
I got it right here. Head-to-head all time. The Kings have lost 5 straight. Oh, I guess we did beat them my first full season here. My first season here that we beat them 107-96 and 116-111. But then since then,
beat them twice that year?
Twice. Swept them that year. I'd have to look at the box score and see who played and who not. But since then, January 25th, 2022, 128-75 Celtics. March 18th.
128-75?
Yes. 53 point. I was in Boston. We were down 60 at one point. I was there for that game. All right, then we play them at home. Okay, we got them March 18th, 2022. 126-97 Celtics. So what's that? 29. All right. Then November 5th, 25th, 2022 in Boston. Hey, 122-104.
All right.
All right. Okay, we're getting there. Then March 21st, 2023 in Sacramento, 132-109. Then December 20th, 2023, this season, 144-119.
I've never seen you like that.
Dude,
I've
that
known you a
game,
long time,
yes.
I've never seen
that
you
one
like
hurt.
that.
That one hurt right there. That one, they came into our building and spanked us. 144-119. I was
made that
emotional.
One personal for you,
yes,
didn't you?
it was a personal one. Cedric Maxwell talking to smack. It was a rough one, man. It's and I'll be honest with you. When I left Boston and came here, people thought I was crazy. Why would you go to a franchise like Sacramento? Why would you go there? And so I've been hoping to kick their butts ever since then. Like, see, y'all take that. And so just these last 5 meetings have not been pretty for the Kings.
No, they haven't, which means they're due, of course. It's funny. We all do it. I do it. You do it. We talk about how the Kings going to make up for Malik Monk, and we talk almost exclusively about offense. Right now, what the Kings are doing, at least what they did last night, defense is a huge part of it. John D on the chat points out, since March 1st, Kings are 6th in defensive rating, 2nd in rebounding percentage, 5th in steals, 5th in deflections, 5th in opponents' points in the paint, says John D. Haven't looked that up, but I'll take him
all right, take his word. Okay.
And how about this? Let's see. The Kings now have held the opponent under 100 5 times in the last 12 games. It's almost half the last 12 games. Kings have held the other team under 100. Before that, the Kings had held the opponent under 100 5 times in 63 games.
Wow. Yeah, they're doing a much better job defensively. And when you look at it over these last few games that you're talking about, like, the Clippers are a good team. It's not like they got, we're facing Detroit or somebody like that. That's hard to score again, hard to get buckets. I'm looking at some of the other numbers here. Who else have we held? Sixers with Tyrese Maxey, no Embiid, but then Toronto locked down.
Think Milwaukee is even the start.
94 for Milwaukee, yes, with Giannis and Dame out there.
You remember Dame was lost.
Yes, he checked out on that one. And then the Knicks, and I know they play in a grinded out style. It's interesting because I think that was the first loss in the last 2 seasons when we had held an opponent under 100 points. Usually, if you hold somebody under 100, if you're Sacramento, that's an automatic win because your offense is going to. That one game was the first one, I think, in the last 2 seasons where we did not win when we allowed less than 100 points.
We talked about it a lot during the most of the season, the fact that the Kings could not stop the ball on the perimeter. They could not keep the ball out of the paint. And now what do we have? We have with Keon Ellis, and we have with the officials calling the games differently.
Yeah.
You have James Harden last night saying they did a good job of blitzing me and trapping me, and I just couldn't get anything going on the perimeter.
It's a clinic that they ran yesterday, and Trey Lyles talked about them executing the game plan. And I also want to give some credit to some of the bigs also. Like, I remember seeing Alex Len out there, on a little trap. But he's big. He got his hands up. Like, he made
no little
really,
trap.
Yeah, they know, right. He made it extremely difficult. So shout out to him as well.
Yeah, I know. As I mentioned last night, Trey Lyles and Davion, they both mentioned post game the game plan, and they said, we followed the game plan. I have to think a lot of it was defensive stuff that Mike Brown didn't want to talk about specifically, but the key there is mixing it up.
Right.
The key there is, because the Kings they junk it up a little, which that's always been kind of a derogatory term in basketball. To me, there's nothing derogatory about being clever with when you throw different things at teams, but they do a good job of, like you say, all of a sudden it's like, you have De'Aaron and you have Keon on you, then all of a sudden, whoa, now I got Alex Len is
big Alex Len.
Yeah.
And, Eric Spoelstra does a great job of that too in Miami, switching things up, and I think we're seeing over the last month, the Kings, Mike Brown at times before the last month, he would switch things up late in games when you had to, but
was
now
a Warrior game early in the year where they did that and it almost worked. They started trapping and they almost came back and won.
But I think that we're seeing it a little earlier now, whether it's switching the zone, whether it's the trapping, like he's throwing everything, the full 48. It's not just, all right, let me just throw it in the fourth quarter when we're down for 10 or 15 and have to come back.
And they're mixing zone in.
Yeah, they're mixing the zone in, and I think that's catching teams off guard, and so, and I think, too, you got to play to the strengths of your team. If your team isn't known as a lockdown perimeter defender, and I know they're doing a better job of that as of late, especially, because they're allowing them to play a little more physical. But, if you don't have the Marcus Smarts of the world, Tony Allen, like the real lockdown perimeter defender, sometimes it's okay to go zone.
Prime Avery Bradley.
Prime A, that's your guy right there. Hey, I love Avery Bradley. I remember AB in Boston. He was amazing. But yeah, if you don't have that guy, mix it up sometimes. It's okay. It's like being a pitcher. Like we've talked about it before. If you only got one pitch to fastball, they figure that out, which is going to be your secondary
pitch. Fastball, right. They're going to tee off
exactly.
On you.
And so I think Mike Brown has done a great job recently of just mixing things up. Yeah.
Do you think this is now becoming the team's identity? We talk about that a lot. Maybe we make too much of it. I don't think so. To me, an identity is when a team goes out there, they know that we can do these things. This is how we do things to give ourselves the best chance to win. It looks like being that scrappy team that is going to give maximum effort defensively. It looks to me like they're embracing that.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. We thought, maybe we just need to embrace, being a 125-point scoring team. But then you become the Indiana Pacers. And we got bigger, loftier goals than that. And Mike Brown all season long has been preaching, I'm trying to get these guys ready for the playoffs. I'm trying to get them ready for the playoffs. And so that's what you're seeing, a playoff style of basketball as of late. It'll be interesting come Thursday because this is something we talked about before. The Knicks.
Yeah.
Is that the style you want to play against them?
The Knicks you want to do that?
Okay.
All right.
It's like being a boxer. You're fighting their style now. Can you win that way? We'll see tomorrow, but that's going to be a massive game.
Films clip where is it? I don't know, Ray Lewis or somebody. I like that kind of party.
Exactly. And then you come to that with the Knicks, Brunson and those guys are like, all right, I like that. Let's go. That's what we want. That's what Tibbs wants. And so I'll be interested to see how we fare tomorrow night.
Continuing to take the most optimistic view that we can.
Yes.
Looking ahead to the rest of the season. Aaron says, Boston clinched the number 1 seed. They're probably resting their starters late.
It doesn't matter, man. Their bench has just annihilated us too. It's just something like Peyton Pritchard will go off on us. Sam Hauser will go off on us. They're deep enough where it doesn't matter.
when the Celtics came here and won, and you were so mad about those guys,
right?
The bench, like, who are these guys?
Who are these guys? I did not give them any respect because I'm like, Sam Hauser's going to come in and beat you? Dude, no offense to Sam Hauser, but a guy named Sam Hauser is going to come in and kick your butt.
No offense.
No offense to Sam Hauser, but oh my gosh, I remember that game and I was so upset. You're right, Whitey. I was so upset at how we performed in that game because I like I said, I was ready to talk some trash. Yeah, Cedric Maxwell in the
Tatum
building.
was out. Tatum and Horford or something. They were missing.
They were already missing a few guys. And so, to a point, it doesn't matter who they have on Friday. The Celtics just somehow find a way to kick our butts. And Sam Hauser started that game. He had 10 points. Peyton Pritchard had 20. I'm honest. Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard had 30 points. Jaylen Brown, 28. Porzingis, 24. Derek White, 28. Holiday, 21. They had 5 guys with 20 or more points against us.
Yeah.
And none of them were Jason Tatum or Al Horford because neither of those two guys played.
Ryan Williams-Art, go 5-2. He says, I could accept losses to Boston and OKC, but if we lose one of the other games, and I feel we better win against Boston or OKC. He says 5-2 is my target for the 6th seed.
I would like that, and I'm with you on that. If they go 5-2, Whitey,
sweeping that back-to-back at home.
It's
a Pels and
Phoenix. Yeah, I mean, if I'm being realistic here, I think the Brooklyn game should win. I think we'll get the Pelicans. Right? It's hard to beat a team 5 times in the season, right?
I mean, to me, if they beat you 4 times, there's a good chance they're going to beat you again. But I know.
But I'm looking at it. We're at 44 wins. If we go 5-2, like Ryan Williams-Art says, that's 49 wins.
That would be.
Think about that. This team at 49 wins, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Is Trey Lyles the new heart of this team? Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a 2-hand flush. Makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
We were being aggressive. We were talking. We were covering for one another. We were getting to their shooters, and we followed the game plan basically to a T tonight. So, when we're capable to do that, when we're 5 guys on the string, we're hard to score on.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Is Trey Lyles the new emotional core of this team now that Malik is there but not playing?
That's the question?
That's my question.
You're coming in hot with that question from the break.
To me, he is.
Tell me why.
Domas and De'Aaron are the two leaders in terms of how well they play. And Keegan. We know that Keegan is still finding his way in some other things, and he's not very demonstrative. Domas is demonstrative, but is more focused on his play. And we've seen him get after teammates a little bit here, there. De'Aaron is kind of almost above the fray, cool when he gets his, he gets upset.
Yeah.
He provides leadership, in terms of his play. But Malik was the type that he just seemed to set a tone emotionally that others followed. And I think with this team, I think it's something that's been lacking. Now Malik's out, and it looks to me like Trey Lyles, he comes back, and you can see it. It's like, okay, he's kind of filling that void. And you hear the things that he says. He recognizes that void. I think he is becoming that emotional core.
I hear you on that. And one thing I can tell you about Trey, and I've seen him behind the scenes, and, he's not a quiet, shy guy or anything. You know what I mean? He's vocal. He's got an edge to him. He laughs and jokes with guys too. Like, the Trey we saw early in his time in Sacramento, it seemed like he was quiet. No, there's a fire burning there. And I think we're seeing that as of late, especially last night. Like I said, there were a couple of plays he made, a couple of rebounds where he, offensive rebounds where he kept the ball alive, came soaring out of nowhere. And I could argue, on your point that he's sort of the emotional litmus of this team. If we can see how this team is going, depending on how Trey is playing, how, is he engaged? Is he diving, or is he, just blending in? I thought yesterday he played with tremendous emotion and passion out there that helped this team out.
Remember yesterday when we were talking to the G-Man, and by the way, anytime the G-Man says, well, you better lace up your sneakers tight, that means, woo, they're in for it.
Yeah.
They're in for it. But he said he wanted to see the Kings play that way, and he mentioned seeing guys diving on the floor, and there was Trey Lyles last night. I can think of 2 plays guys were on the floor. He was one of them. Every time we have that conversation about, boy, it'd be nice if they had a Dylan Brooks or Marcus Smart. Every time we have that conversation, we circle back to, well, who's most like that? And Trey Lyles is the guy that comes up.
Yeah, Trey Lyles, who's a nice guy, but you get him between those lines. I mean, he's not taking any crap. He's not taking any mess. And You need that. You need that person that, can inspire. And, he's not going to be a
really
punk. Right.
It.
This team really needs it. You're not going to punk Trey Lyles on the court. There's going to be some pushback from Trey Lyles. And I think this team needs that. And I was impressed with him yesterday. And we're going to need it, especially these next 2 games. I want to see, remember, Trey didn't play that last Knicks game, if I'm correct. So this is the kind of game, I could see Trey mixing it up a little bit.
You mentioned yesterday that I think you said they were 10-6 in March.
Yeah, 10-6 in March. Their best month.
Yeah. But, they were without Trey Lyles for a lot of that.
Yeah.
Which made that even more
Yeah,
impressive.
he missed 9 games in the month of March. So, you played 16. He only played 7 of those games. He missed 9 games. And, I know he wasn't playing that great before he got hurt. But what he provides to this team, we talked about, the emotional lift that he provides, but also the ability to defend, to switch out. He's a massive part. Even last season, down the stretch, he was a big part of what we had going on.
I think Alex Len adds some of that edge too. But again, Alex Len, for a guy who's, he's huge.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
And he's very physical. He's a decent guy, right? But it's the way he plays.
Right.
He's not going to get in fights with people. Not that he'd ever back down.
Yeah.
But the way he plays is so physical. That sets a tone too.
Yeah, and I thought he took it up another notch last night, right from the jump, with his blocks and his rebounding. And that's why he got the defensive player of the game chain. Like, he came in like a man on a mission.
Yeah.
He was ready to stand on some business. And so that's why I love the fact, yesterday, Alex Len played, let me pull it up here. Oh, that's the Celtics one. Yesterday, Alex Len played only 12 minutes, but he was a plus 18. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a big plus minus guy, but 12 minutes, you're a plus 18. That's pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
1 quarter of basketball with Alex Len out there. You went on a run. And as a matter of fact, somebody tweeted it out, and I didn't see this, but the Kings went on a crazy run against the Clippers, and it was without Domantas Sabonis on the floor.
Ooh.
Like, that run at the end of the first, beginning of the second, that was Domantas Sabonis on the bench. It was guys like Alex Len, Davion, Trey playing huge minutes right there.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. JR is with us. Sactown Sports. Hello, JR. How are you?
What's up, boys? What's going on?
Hey.
Yo,
what do you think? 5-2, 6-1, 7-0 the rest of the way?
Yeah, that's it. That's all we got is wins, wins, wins.
Okay.
You guys remember when Trey choked out one of the Lopez brothers last year?
Oh yeah. That was
awesome.
Yeah, that was.
That was when the Greek freak
Giannis.
did a little.
Yeah.
He was the instigator and he walked around and was like, oh, nobody works with him, and then Trey said, oh, none of that.
Yeah.
And then Lopez tried to jump in, and I went, nah, you're the weaker of the 2 Lopez brothers. We've seen it. So took him down, man. Yes, I loved him last night. And you might have talked about it. I'm sorry. Murray's dunk down the middle.
Yes.
Was, I don't know what, maybe it's because our boy, Mr., took that. It was like he left from the free throw line. It looked like friggin' Michael J coming down on a dunk contest. And it got Sabonis so pumped. I mean, he was like, big old smile, like, yes, that's what we need out of you, young man Keegan. Oh, that fired me up. That was a pretty, we need more of that.
Well, JR, were you at the game last night, or did you watch on TV?
I'm not allowed to go. I'm like 0-8. I go and I sit outside because honest to God, I'm like 0-8. I am live going down there in the arena, and I have some friends, and I get connected to get into games down, do my thing, but I haven't been since they lost that 8th game in a row that I saw. I haven't seen them beat the Warriors for like 2 years.
Okay.
I'm about to throw up my own mouth when I just talk about it, for God's sake.
Well, the reason I ask is because then you saw Drape's call. We've been talking a lot today about the call by Draper on that dunk last night. It was spectacular.
Oh, spectacular. Drapes, you are the man. We love when you do that stuff.
Thank you.
More. I mean, Katie's speechless when you come up with a good one-liner, dude. He's like, I don't know what to say. I used to play in the WNBA. Yeah, girl.
Is that what she does? That's all right.
Yeah, she drops out. Like, well, I was a really good basketball player. And you're over there going, he is spinning in the mixer. He's got him upside down. I'm freaking it out.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, JR.
Great call, JR.
Yeah, you got a
Great
big,
call.
he gave you such a hard time during the football
Right,
season.
he did.
Now he worships.
Now, I never know what I'm going to get from JR. I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh, we taking this guy again? No, thank you, JR. I appreciate that.
There's a lot of that going on. Like Compio here says, now Draper is agreeing with Ryan how the tides turn. And Ryan Williams says, we have a complicated relationship.
Yeah,
I think you
we
have
do.
a number of those with our listeners.
Well, I got to kind of be nice to him because his wife is my daughter's teacher at school. So
But
I
you
wanted
don't
to
wanna
get.
be.
I don't want
Clearly
to.
you don't wanna be.
Once the school year is over, all bets are off, my friend. The wrath of drapes is going to come Ryan Williams our way.
Well, just in time with Malik Monk going down, you have Trey coming back and filling some of that void for the Kings.
Yeah, let me ask you this though.
Tough guy that they need.
You got Trey back. You got Sasha. Are you comfortable with the bench right now?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
No, I'm not saying, they got it. Bench mob 2.0, but I comfortable because I still think there's a potential for more. I'll tell you this, and I know he's your guy, and I spoke to him, and he's a wonderful fella, and he's done some nice things, but Duarte, when he's on the floor, you just mentioned plus minus. I noticed that when he's on the floor, plus minus isn't very good. I don't think he's been defending very well. He's made some shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going after him.
Yeah, I don't go after my guy.
Yeah. I just, you watch him and say, how come he didn't play more minutes? I don't think he's been defensively what they'd hoped, but I still think there's a chance for Sasha to contribute. And then right now, the way they're playing, Mitchell's playing great. Trey's playing great, and Alex Lynn's playing really well.
Well, here's the thing with Chris. He's never been a defender like that. They're asking him to do things that he just has not been in his career. Like, he's a bucket getter, and he's had some ebbs and flows. And I'm looking at some of his numbers. In January, he played in 7 games, shot 36.4 from 3. February, only 6 games, short month too, shot 45% from 3. March, 13 games, shot 39.4 from 3. And so I think when you look at Chris Duarte, I think more than any player on the team, maybe I'll throw Sasha in on this as well, the inconsistent minutes has really affected him.
Well,
not knowing when he's going to play, if he's going to play, I think it has really affected him.
Having noticed those numbers you talked about and having noticed, wow, this guy can shoot, but having also noticed that he's not playing much, I have to think that he's not providing what Coach Brown would like to get from him at the other end. Because he has had some nice offensive moments.
But and the crazy thing is, I could point to a number of games where I thought defensively, he actually did play well and made some changes. I go back to the road game against San Antonio when he was picking up Sohan full court and frustrating him. That changed the tenor.
Then I don't know why he's not playing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And I guarantee you, he probably doesn't know why he's not playing. That's why I said the inconsistent minutes and not knowing whether he's going to play, I would imagine that's taking a toll on him.
We'll get back to the Sacramento A's conversation. How does Sacramento stack up against other potential MLB expansion cities? Does it even matter? Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Fraudulent tax returns due identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan. Help protect your information with LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code.
Planning for spring at Lowe's means big savings on outdoor power equipment, and Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Buy one select Ego string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get one select 56-volt battery free. That's up to a $299 value. Power through spring with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Boston Red Sox beat the A's today, but that's not the A's story.
That's
for
not
us
the
here
story,
in
yeah.
Sacramento. We know that today, the Oakland A's. Can I even call them? I guess they're still the Oakland A's.
They're still the Oakland A's.
A's are
technically.
meeting with Sacramento, discussing the possibility, of course, of the A's making Sacramento their home for the next 3 years, starting next season. We don't have any details out of that. We could have some details possibly as soon as tomorrow. So we're just hanging tight here, trying to figure this out. And we've got, a lot of very interesting comments from people because it's a lot more complicated than something like this should be, Drapes.
Right. Yeah, it really is. And there's so many layers to this. And, it's, emotions involved in everything. And, you don't want to step on anybody's toes. And, the Vegas thing may fall through. We don't know what the Oakland situation is. There's so many moving parts with this. And this could go in so many different directions here. Even if they do announce Sacramento, it still could go in different directions, in the future. Yeah.
On the chat we have, let's see here. Actually, this is a text line, pardon me, from the 916. What would happen if the A's made the playoffs or the World Series? Would MLB actually play those games in a 14,000 capacity stadium? I don't think
we ain't got to worry about that. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not waste any time on things that will never happen.
It's a good question.
Right? If we had a contending team, like an actual 25-man roster that contended, yes, that's a great question. But
I am wondering if they might bring in some bleachers in the grassy area.
Yeah,
and
I think
actually
so.
increase the capacity, not because they anticipate being in the World Series, but they probably could still increase the capacity of that place.
Do you think they would sell out though? Like would the fans show up? That's a good question.
For some
too.
games, I think they will.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to sell it every game or anything like that.
Right. I mean, if they playing, the White Sox or something like that, or
right.
I don't know about that, but the Yankees come to town, people are going to be wanting to get up in there. Yeah.
You and I were talking earlier about the possibility of the Players Association saying, hey, that's a minor league facility. We don't want to play there. From the 916, my son works at Sutter Health Park, said the clubhouse facilities were just significantly upgraded. I know they did upgrade in the off season. To what extent, I don't know. But
Right.
Thank you. I know that's true for a fact.
Man, it's a shame what's happening to that franchise and the players. Like, they're being treated like, renters, really. You know what I mean? Like, their lease is expiring and they got to find a new home. I'm talking to players, and you got families out there. And even if you do come to Sutter Health Home Park, the accommodations, it's not up to major league standards, right? Like, whether it's the clubhouse, whether it's the batting cages, whatever it may be, we're talking a major league baseball franchise. It'd be like, the Sacramento Kings going to play, not even at a G League stadium, but at like a junior college or something like that. It just be crazy to think.
It is true though that players have been saying that about Oakland.
Yeah, the facilities too.
When I was there,
yeah.
When I was on station where we were the flagship, and that's when you had like the sewage.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Those facilities aren't good. Anyway.
From the 916. Sorry, just want to add. I hope A's fans can respect each other's choices to go or not to go to support the team in Sacramento. There's no right answer. Being obstinate doesn't make you more of a fan than the rest of us who have probably spent a full 1 to 2 years of our lives watching A's games on TV and in Oakland.
That's interesting. You respect each other's choices.
That's a good point.
It's up to it's up to each individual.
Fine.
Right.
Good for you. You don't want to go, but we just want to hang out at the park.
Right. Exactly. I want to take my kid to some Major League Baseball. Our guy Manny Too Legit even said it'd be his first time going to a Major League Baseball game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It looks like we're gonna get that opportunity today. As we said, no news yet. I wanted to take a quick look here at how how Sacramento stacks up against other potential MLB expansion cities, because we think that perhaps part of this move is to give Sacramento a chance to audition for baseball, to show baseball, hey, we could have an expansion team. We do a great job here. However, Carmichael Dave on Twitter, here's what he posted 10 hours ago. He says, what this is, what this isn't. What it is could be 3 years here. What it is not is an expansion tryout. He says, what it is not is a play to keep them long term. That's Carmichael Dave. Well, then what is it? I mean,
I'm not buying that, right? Why do it then? Just for 3 years, and there has to be some end game or some end goal, some hope if you're Vivek and city leaders, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't just do this out of the niceness of your heart for John Fisher and the A's.
Right. Let's hope not. Yeah. It appears that, and I know Casey Pratt, I believe, has suggested this. It looks like Vivek, we talked about it earlier. Vivek wants to own a team. Vivek sees this situation and knows how hard it is to get an expansion team and says, hey, if we get this team and they come here, maybe if the Vegas thing falls through, and there's a lot of reasons why that could still fall through, maybe they end up staying here. Maybe they end up selling the team to me.
And that sounds like the most plausible, the most likely reasoning to do something like this. If you're Vivek and the Sacramento leaders, it's because like we said earlier, expansion. I just look at some of the other cities, the Austins of the world, the Nashvilles, those are really growing areas, young, hip areas. And so I think they'd probably be positioned more to get a expansion team. But if you already have one here and the Vegas thing falls apart and you prove that it's working and it can work, it's more likely that they would stay here.
Yeah, I agree with Dave on that. And I know that he's much better sourced on this story than I am. But when he says this is not an expansion bid, there is that possibility, as we discussed, but it's unlikely when, to your point, you look at the other cities that have been trying to get an expansion team in Major League Baseball for years. Austin, San Antonio, Charlotte. I like our chances against Charlotte. Montreal, they've actually had Major League Baseball before. Mexico City, baseball likes that, but, that's got some inherent problems. Nashville, most people around baseball seem to think Nashville's in. Nothing has been announced, but most people believe Nashville, it's almost a foregone conclusion. So if Nashville gets a team, then there would be only at most one more spot.
One more spot.
Yeah. Portland's been after baseball for a long time. So it would be, and I know Sacramento people, when you read this list to them, they go, oh, we can compete and we could beat out one of those cities. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. But, the thing is, and I sort of bring at times an outsider's view of things. And I know the view of Sacramento is different inside than outside.
Yes.
It's just,
yes.
It is what it
Thank
is.
you.
It's, anytime you mention California, it's LA, it's San Francisco. Oh yeah, Sacramento. And then people don't know about Sacramento really. It's not at the forefront of, but people know from a vacation destination. I look at it like this. If you're a young person, and I'll say it like this, Nashville, bachelorette capital of the world, bachelorette parties, you go there with, Whiskey Row, all that down there. It's same thing, Austin, 6th Ave. We know this. What do people outside of Sacramento know about Sacramento from a young person's perspective? And so it is what it is. I'm sorry. Austin's a sexier city. Nashville's a sexier city. Are they better sports cities? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying from an outside perspective, it'd be real hard pressed to beat out any of those cities.
I didn't know this until I really started looking into this type of thing a couple years ago, but yeah, it's Austin, San Antonio, but Austin is just apparently just
yes, it's exploding.
Booming.
Yes, it is exploding now, and I got people that work in the TV industry down there, and that market is growing and growing, and and it's only an hour from San Antonio. It's right down the street from San Antonio, sort of like Sacramento, San Francisco, the proximity, and it's booming right now. The housing market is booming. Everything's booming out there.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. How about Duncan? Duncan's with us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Duncan.
I love how you pronounce my name each time, Waddy. That's right.
Duncan.
Hey, first off, I want to say I totally remember the wiffle ball shot heard around the world way back in probably the 90s?
It was in the 90s. It was at the K Street, the downtown plaza before they took it out to put a basketball arena in there. But yes, I hit one in the upper deck. Yeah, at Macy's.
I'm boring everybody, but I go back, buddy.
Thank you.
So, just got back from spring training last week of March. Goodyear, Arizona is the spring home of the shared field for the Reds and the Guardians. The layout for their stadium is almost identical to our good old Sutter Health Park.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that the right field, what we have the right field grassy berm, about half of that section, from the foul pole heading towards center field, is a big, huge, nice, probably, I think it's 2-layer, like bar, restaurant, lounge area that could bump the capacity, and then seating, could bump the capacity another, 4,000 or 5,000 seats easy. But it's just a beautiful layout.
All right, Duncan. Thank you. Yeah, so I think there is a possibility if they wanted to. I don't think it would be that hard to bump
add
up
some
the
seats there,
capacity.
huh?
I'm not
Okay.
saying you can go just like that at an upper deck and you're 50,000, but
Right.
you get up
Okay.
near
Okay.
Coach 20.
All right.
And I'm sure they're looking at all
Yeah,
that,
yes,
right?
yes.
And we may know more as soon as tomorrow when we come back. 1, 2, 3 of the most bizarre ballpark foods you've ever heard of. Would you try any of these? We'll find out next. Drive Guy Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right out of the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. We have a much colder change coming in our weather for the day tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a mostly cloudy day, occasional showers, maybe some afternoon thunderstorms, and our high temperatures will only be in the mid to upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
They said it couldn't be done. They said it was impossible. But mark my words, I did it with Kohl's. That's right. I got everything I needed for my spring home refresh in one trip. I'm talking Sonoma Goods for Life bedding for 20% off and Espresso Virtual Plus Deluxe for 30% off. Cuisinart cookware sets for 35% off and Sonoma Goods for Life decor for 20% off. So if you want to get set for the season and save big, you can do it all at Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Espresso and Cuisinart coupons do not apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA member FDIC.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. I am Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, maybe we're getting a Major League Baseball team here. So in just a moment here, I happen to run across this today, looking at a few of the more unusual ballpark menu items that are available this year. I'm curious whether you, Drapes, you, Simone, if you would be interested in these items or not. Just a few of them here as we anxiously await word on the A's coming maybe to Sacramento. And we're getting ready, of course, for the Kings and this fateful road trip. On the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Question here from the 530. Who's going to pay for a stadium if the A's were to stay in Sacramento? The city? I don't know. I was hoping you would pay for the stadium, Dre.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I don't have money like that. Maybe
you're good for it.
Somebody from the 530 probably got that kind of money, maybe. Not Drapes. That's
a good question. You know, last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, when Vivek did that interview with CBS 13, and he said, I can't think of a reason why baseball wouldn't want to come here. Well, there's a big reason.
The money,
right there. Where are they going to play?
Where are they going to play, and who's going to pay for that stadium? That's a big time question. You're right.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Doug has been hanging on here. Doug, you're on with the Drive Guys. Thanks for hanging. What can we do for you?
Well, it's directed towards the Kings. So first off, Simone does a wonderful job of screening. I just want to make sure she gets her due.
She didn't yell at you or anything? She didn't demean you?
Oh, she is wonderful. You guys are lucky to have her. That's all I know.
Yes.
How's that? So first off, I have a question. Both you gentlemen were either high school sports players or college and understand the whole camaraderie and all the fun times and that kind of stuff. Well, one thing I did notice last night, and when the Kings were playing before that game started, I'm going, God, I hope we have a chance to do well and be competitive. And if we get a win, it would have been fantastic. But while I'm watching the game, there's something that I haven't seen a lot of. But those guys were really enjoying themselves and having fun. And for me as a coach, that is important for me to see the players interacting and exchanging and high-fiving and smiling and all that kind of stuff. And the outcome helps when that third quarter's rolling and you watch the interaction between Sabonis and Murray and Mitchell and then Alex Len. You know, there was great contributions. And I think that, you know, sometimes we get caught up in all the seriousness of what's going on, but it was great to see those guys having fun out there. And I hope that they can continue that as they trek towards the season and the playoffs. That's all I have. Enjoy your show.
All right. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks for hanging on to share that. Appreciate that. You know, I never used to pay that much attention to, like, when a guy goes down and then a teammate comes to help him
lift him up.
And I learned, I worked, and it was actually on this station a long time ago. I worked with FP Santangelo, and FP played in the majors. And I remember him saying he didn't play basketball, but he said, oh, he noticed that. It's like,
really?
Yeah.
So
you really can tell when guys are
athlete,
playing for each other.
Right.
Or not. And obviously the Kings are locked in there. By the way, did you see what your guy Dylan Brooks did?
No, what Dylan
somebody,
Brooks
one of the Rockets, I think it was Jabari Smith Jr. He's down on the floor.
Yeah.
This is a couple nights ago, and he's sitting there, and Josh Giddey comes over.
Oh, I think I did
like
see
to help
this.
him up, and Dylan
gave him a little shove. Like, you don't help my guy up.
knocks him down.
Right, I did see that. He's always trying to send a message, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's my guy, Dylan Brooks. Yeah, I did see that.
You being on the road with the team, you really get a better sense than we can get of you know, how they get along.
No, they get along fantastic, and that's one thing I could say about this team. No malcontents, no moaning or complaining. Everybody seems to get along. You know, I don't see them, you know, like going out or anything like that, you know, and hanging out off the court, but you know, being in practices, being in shoot-arounds, I don't see any, you know, malcontents or anything like that. That's one thing I could say about, Wes Wilcox and Monty McNair and Paul Johnson about how they built this team. It's a bunch of good guys, guys that enjoy playing with each other and enjoy their roles. And so, I remember in previous years here in Sacramento, you'd hear, a couple of players make some comments, snide comments about playing time, or, coach would say something and somebody under their breath would be like, well, if you played me, just little stuff. I don't hear that at all with this year's team, or most of last year's as well. Like, everybody seems to be locked in with each other.
So now that it's all, it's blown over, it's all water under the Tower Bridge. What was that team meeting about, Drapes? You can tell us.
Mike just said that the players just wanted to make sure they listened to the drive, guys. I think that they just had to reiterate on Sactown Sports 1140. Listen to the drive, guys. The best show out there.
So when they talk about holding each other accountable, it's like, did you listen?
Did you listen?
Did you
Exactly.
listen?
Exactly. Yeah, I have no idea. Those kind of things, man, I try to stay out of. It's better that I don't know because I don't want to say anything. I might get in trouble for anything. I usually just stay out of stuff.
I just thought I'd see, knock on it,
catch me slipping,
see if something fell. But I remember it because that was a day you guys were flying out of Denver?
Yeah, out of Denver, and I was sitting on the bus for an extra hour.
And I think you were on the air there. You said, we didn't leave for a long time because there was a meeting.
A meeting. I'm like, that smells like a team meeting. And sure enough, because you had everybody waiting on the bus. Like, we were all there except the players and the coaches. Everybody else was ready, and
that's why you were late, I think, getting to
we were late getting to wherever that next stop was. I don't even remember where it was.
Denver to Phoenix, maybe.
Sounds about right. But that team meeting lasted about an hour extra than what we were supposed to be.
It seems like it may have helped.
It's been up and down, right? Remember that team meeting, I'm going back looking at the schedule here. It was at Denver and then at Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we got beat handily at Denver, 117-96. Came back and beat Minnesota without De'Aaron Fox. And everybody's like, ooh. But then we came home and lost to Chicago. Remember, there's like, so much of that about that team meeting.
It's like,
right?
What?
Yes. But since then, like I said, 10-6 in March, 11-6 since the start of March. That's pretty solid basketball.
Yeah. So back to baseball just for a moment here, because we every year when the seasons start, you end up hearing about the new menu items here or there. I just have three quick ones here.
Yeah.
Minor League Park menu items. Maybe we can bring them here, and I'm just wondering if you would be interested in these. This was from the West Michigan Whitecaps. They have some, what a charcuterie is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
They have a fry-cuterie box. A fry-cuterie box is it's an assortment of fried deliciousness. The fry-cuterie box is served in a pizza box, has waffle fries, mini mashers, cheese curds, jalapeno bacon firecrackers, and a minimum of 3 sauces. So like nacho cheese, tangy BBQ, zesty chili. Would you go for the fry-cuterie box?
Nah, at first I was going to say yes. I don't know about you, Simone, but those items aren't too appealing to me.
Oh, that's an upset tummy incoming.
No,
I'm out too.
Out on that.
You know what? I should say, keep all their stuff. I'll take the waffle fries.
Yeah, the waffle. Dude, you go to Chick-fil-A to get that. Come on, you ain't got to
a couple of cheese curds.
Yeah,
sure.
But after that, it went downhill.
Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. They are offering a Rally Cap injectable donuts. The Rally Cap part, it comes in a helmet.
Okay.
Upside down. And then inside, it's cinnamon sugar blend donuts. They're warm, tossed. Also, then, so it's like a donut ball.
Yeah.
You can inject, because it comes with a syringe, raspberry sauce, chocolate sauce, or Bavarian cream. Any 2 injections are covered with purchase of the donut holes. All 3 can be had for an extra $2.50.
And out on that too. I'm out on that, dude.
Really?
No, they get too fancy, man. Just give me the donut holes. I
know. It's
I don't need all that. It's a syringe.
Old fashioned.
Yeah, I don't have to put it together myself. Nah.
Bavarian cream, though, I would like to try it.
You would? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then finally, Midland Rockhounds, AA affiliate of the Oakland A's. The PB&J bacon hot dog.
What?
The peanut butter and jelly bacon hot dog. This item originally was thrown on the menu as a joke, but I guess it's still on there, and it's formally on the menu this year. And it's one of those weird things. Peanut butter and jelly bacon hot dog, available Momentum Bank Ballpark the past few seasons. Midland Rockhounds. Anybody?
Nah, because I mean, it's hard to mess up bacon, but somehow they did, right? Like, seriously, somehow they did. Oh my gosh.
Stinky.
No thanks.
If you had to get one of those three, it's like you're starving. Those are only 3 items. You got to get one. You're starving. You're going to the charcuterie board.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's shareable. Yes, 1000%.
Yes.
Be like, do you want some of this? Just be offering my whole row.
There's a picture I'll have to get and show you of the PB&J bacon dog. It doesn't look any better than it sounds. Yeah.
Have you tried a burger dog yet? They have them at the golf courses now.
Yes. The weirdest burger I've ever had is at the State Fair a couple years ago. They had donut burgers, which is like a Krispy Kreme as the bun with a burger in between.
How was it? Did you try that?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't for everybody, but it was pretty
pretty
good.
Okay.
Yeah. That doesn't interest you?
Nah. Dinner and dessert right there. All in one.
There you go. When we come back, Kings win. How did they do it? Is it repeatable on the road? Next, Drive Guys Sactown Sports.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Plus, get free shipping, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. Call now to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Paid for by U.S. Medical Supply.
Call 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638. Again, 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I get a lot of compliments from my friends about my new EQS SUV. Mercedes has proven that electric cars can be gorgeous and stylish. My EQS is the finest vehicle I've ever had. And some of my friends have even asked, what's it really like to have an electric Mercedes? Is it easy to own and operate? Is it easy to charge? Well, it's as easy as owning a regular gas guzzler, except you never have to put gas in it. And I never stress about battery charging. It's got a long range, so no problem there. And it's easy to charge. You just plug it in, and that's it. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is offering up to $19,000 in Mercedes-Benz incentives on select new vehicles and certified pre-owned Mercedes vehicles, as low as 1.99% APR for qualified buyers. So head on out to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. It's just a half hour from Sacramento, right off I-5, or online anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Everybody's talking about the Kings here, heading down the stretch, 7 games to go. Everybody's talking about Sacramento A's.
Yeah.
We may know as soon as tomorrow whether the A's are coming to Sacramento for 3 years. It's an exciting time, no matter how you feel about all that. An exciting time to be a sports fan here in the River City, Kyle Draper.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I tell you, this A's news can change the landscape of sports in Sacramento. I'm talking, when this is announced, it'll be on ESPN. It'll be on all the talk shows, MLB Network, everything. You know, it'll put Sacramento in a different light, and we'll see where it goes from there. But this is going to be, you know, all eyes are going to be on Sacramento when this announcement is made.
And even though they're not expected to stay, we'll see. They may not. But even if they don't, 3 years is a long time.
That's a long time. That's a long time, man. And you know, I just, you know, I wonder, and I brought this up, I think it was yesterday or day before, like if you're a fan, how connected do you get to this team that you know is only going to be here for 3 years? Like, you don't pour your heart and soul into it and then they leave, you know, and it complicates things because of the ownership too.
Yeah.
And, you know, then do you become a fan of the Las Vegas A's when they leave or not?
Yeah. There's probably already a built-in fan base, you know, because we've always had a lot of A's fans in Sacramento. So there's that aspect to it, of course.
Yeah. It's and I think, you know, when you look at the A's following, it may not be a lot, but they're very vocal. They're very passionate about their club. And so I hope, you know, at the end of the day, if it does come to Sacramento, you know, you know, there will be some support. You know, we've had Jay on here, our producer. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
He talked about, you know, the dichotomy of, you know, riding for his city, Sacramento, but also not wanting to support John Fisher. And so, but he admitted he probably would go to the games if they came to Sacramento.
Yeah, to the point you just made, Eric Burns, I know I've talked about him before. Burns, he used to play for the River Cats. Then he went to play for the A's, and he used to come on the station with us all the time. Started when he was with the River Cats. He talked about A's fans. He said, A's fans, there aren't as many of them.
Right.
But as far as being loyal and vocal, the ones that are true A's fans, he said, they're as good as any fans in baseball. There just aren't as many of them.
And they deserve so much better than what they're getting right now with John Fisher. I mean, the product on the field, we talked about, I forget the kid's name, who hit 4-something over the weekend, and then they pulled him.
Estuary?
Ruiz. Yeah. And then
I said that
you know, sent them down. It's like, dude, what are you talking about?
Estuary Ruiz.
Estuary Ruiz. Yeah, exactly. Had a great weekend. And then
429.
429. He's doing a little too. That's ridiculous, man. What are we doing here? And so A's fans deserve better, no doubt.
Hey, do you want to hear about another ballpark food that someone mentioned? Derek Vercelli says, Whitey, the food I want to try from Arizona Diamondback Stadium, it's called the Broomstick 18-inch corn dog filled with jalapenos and cheese and a bit of fries. Huh? That's it.
Nah.
Simone, in on that? Broomstick 18-inch corn dog, jalapenos and cheese, a bit of fries.
I'm
out on that too.
Yes.
Wow.
Hard.
What's the one they got at the Mets Stadium now that I just saw? Somebody was hyping that up. The Mets got a new burger or something like that that's supposed to be really impressive. I got to look this up.
So it's actually good, something you'd actually want to eat?
I was like, man, this actually looks halfway decent. And let's see here. It's the championship burger. Ready for this?
Yeah.
The Mets championship burger.
Okay.
a dry-aged beef patty, Maine lobster seafood salad, lobster fondue, charred lemon on fennel brioche bun.
Nah.
What?
Yeah,
You do the
the surf and
charcuterie,
turf.
the fried charcuterie board or whatever. But he don't want lobster. He don't want Maine lobster.
Eat all that when I'm sitting at the ballpark.
Dude, you got to see it. Take a look.
Are you ready for your salad now, sir? That's all in the burger?
Yeah, all on the top of the burger.
The lobster on top of the burger patty.
Yeah,
that's gross.
Right.
And keep it separate.
How is that gross? It doesn't belong on that burger.
And
You're
maybe
ruining a good burger.
Surf and turf of a nice steak and a lobster tail like that, but I'm not accepting a ground beef dry-aged burger topped with lobster salad.
And that looks like
that's awesome.
Like footage from someone's surgery or something.
No, this is Darren Ravel put, and it's $28.89. That's how much it'll cost you. That's not for lobster and a burger.
I'm surprised it's not a lot more than that.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Like,
so you're gonna enjoy that, Drapes?
I would eat that in
order?
a sack. Yes.
Wow.
I would eat that in a second.
learning
Lobster?
so
What are you
much.
looking at? You guys
Because
want
it's lobster on top of
you,
a burger.
You want fried jalapenos. I'm talking fine dining right here. Lobster.
It's like a lobster salad, isn't it? You said, didn't you even say
that's what it said on there? Yeah,
salad.
that's how they say it. But that doesn't look like lobster salad though, right there.
I mean, are you seeing a claw? Or are we
like
seeing
a
an
claw.
actual
Yeah, I got a claw.
defined? Because
Hold
if
on,
it's
Simone.
shredded. Okay, I see definition.
That looks better than the other picture.
Right. The first picture I showed you was a little sketchy, but
You know, I know a guy that used to work at a place where they sold, crabs and things, and they would have these big crabs, and he said, I'm so embarrassed that I did this. I wish I hadn't done this. So someone would buy the crab, like the biggest crab, and they'd weigh it, and they'd say, oh man, that's going to be this much. That's a big crab. Then he'd say, all right, I'll go clean it up for you. They would go in the back and they'd give him a different crab that was already cut up. And then the big one they would keep and then sell it again.
Still charge them at that price though?
And then he said, we used to see how many times we could sell the big crab.
He admitted to that?
And he's
No
like,
way.
I wish I hadn't done that.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's pretty low. That's low right there. Isn't that you get arrested for that, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
What is that called again? That burger? The championship?
Yeah, I don't know why
burger?
they call it the championship. We're talking about the Mets,
The Mets?
here.
Yeah.
That's like out in the wild card round burger.
Right.
That's
That's what I'm saying. The wild card burger. Yeah, I don't know why they call it the championship burger. It's funny.
Oh, you said somebody had a good suggestion for your slogan for the Kings.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty good one. Now I got to go back here.
Something for the play-in, or
somebody. Oh man, I gotta find it.
Come up with a slogan.
And this one was really good, and I was like, okay, now there's no delaying. Avoid the playing.
Avoid the playing.
My guy Curtis Hicks coming up with that. There's no delaying. Avoid the playing.
All right.
I like that.
Top of the leaderboard.
Yep, that's up there for sure.
On the text line here from the 530, is the adversity that the Kings are going through what they needed? Is it possible that they were too comfortable? Doug in Grass Valley asks.
Good question, Doug. Well, it's something, the coaching staff has preached about is that they want the adversity. They want the smoke. They don't want everything to be all smooth and hunky dory and everything like that. They want, some of the peaks and valleys of a season. And so I do believe, they started off this season kind of, as Doug would put it, too comfortable on last year's success, and they thought, oh, maybe we arrived, we repeat, the same formula, it'll work again. And we've seen it. It hasn't been that. So I do think the adversity has helped this team out. What is crazy here, and I keep bringing this up, they have 7 games left to go, Whitey.
That's incredible, by the way. I was talking with Brendan last night. There's only 7 games left.
7 games left.
Yeah.
If they go 4-3, they equal last year's win total. Think about that. If we said at the beginning of the year, and knowing what we know now, that you just get 48 wins, we'd all sign up for that.
Mm-hmm.
But this has been the most trying good season for the Kings in so long. Like, it's been up and down. 4-3 is very realistic for this team down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. To me, it's not that Kings were too comfortable, but they were in some kind of rut. And I think Keon Ellis and the way they're calling the games differently, they've been able to play more physical defense. I think that's kind of, and then just the fact that we got no more Malik now. Hello, what are we going to do? I think they've kind of been shaken out of that rut that they were in.
Yeah, you might be right. And, they sort of stumbled onto something, too, with the Keon Ellis situation. And so I think that's injected some new life into this team.
Injected just like those
donuts, right? Carry your syringe around with you,
plastic syringe. There is one thing, though, about the Kings that concerns me. Tell you what that is when we come right back. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sactown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
A toast to our new college grad who fills us with so much joy, almost as much as when we're in our RV. Oh, the world is your oyster, kiddo, and ours too. Now that we're covered with Progressive, Dad and I can hop in our RV anytime we want. Might even splurge on a retractable awning. Ooh, look out. Sorry, what was I talking about?
Protect your loved one with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she had just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We've been talking about ballpark foods, among other things here, and I don't even know what this is, Drapes. This is on cheapism.com. I don't know what this is. I just these supposedly are menu items available at Major League Parks this year. Doesn't that look like the most horrible thing? It's like a burger, whatever is supposed to be the meat looks kind of gray, and the bun's blue.
Yeah, I don't get that. What is that? That is disgusting.
It just looks
now
horrible.
That milkshake thing next to it looks pretty good though. That thing on the right there, that's the White Sox.
You can get that at the White Sox game.
Yeah, I like that. Gross.
Dino rib at the Rockies game. There's your championship burger.
Oh, there it is, right there. Mets championship burger.
Yeah.
You'll be living large if you grab this show-stopping burger at a Mets game. That's what I'm about, living large, Whitey. Look at it, show-stopping burger. You get lobster on a burger?
And I know you said this. I didn't get it all when you said it. Creamy Maine lobster seafood salad on top, all coated in a cheesy lobster fondue.
Exactly.
So now you're bringing cheese back into the mix.
Yes.
So now, no.
What's wrong?
Drapes.
What are you, Simone? I got to get you out, man.
Okay.
You're probably the type that likes mac and cheese out of the box.
I don't.
You know what I mean? You like Kraft mac and cheese. I got to take you to some fine dining one of these days.
Fine dining. I like caviar. I love lobster. I love a nice ribeye. I'm not understanding that medley of flavors.
How about a renegade hot dog, PNC Park in where the Pirates
Pittsburgh,
play?
yeah.
12-inch dog topped with shredded beef pot roast, caramelized onions, and mini pierogies.
I'd try that. I would do that. I would. And it got pickles on there too, it looks like, from the picture
Yes,
up there.
sir. Pickle slices.
Yes, I would do that. Yeah, that's a bursting of flavor, cavalcade of flavor right there.
Yeah, I got to find. There's your campfire milkshake.
Sign me up.
Let's see. Campfire milkshake, chocolate shake topped with graham crackers, chocolate bars, and toasted marshmallows.
Yeah, sign me up.
Love that one. Yeah.
Sign me up. How about this, Whitey, real quick? Remember we were talking about milkshakes yesterday at the arena?
Yeah.
Our boys Scott and Lee, they brought down milkshakes.
He asked me if I wanted one.
Really?
I said, no.
They brought some down.
They
sorry.
asked me too. Wait, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yes, they brought some down. And so I had my dinner that brought from my girl Selena and Liz in the back there, and then I've washed it down with the milkshake.
What was the milkshake flavor?
Vanilla. I'm a vanilla guy.
I think it was only vanilla and chocolate.
Yeah,
right?
you only get vanilla and chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm a vanilla guy through and through.
I apologized to that guy 50 times because I realized if I hadn't said anything to you, he or whoever would not have had to go.
We had to go buy like 20
your
milkshakes.
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of the problem.
It was
I brought
awesome,
them
though.
water, actually.
Did
I
you
helped.
get a milkshake or
no? I declined, and I brought them water for their services.
Unbelievable.
They're very
nice.
helpful.
Here's the burger, the Back to Blue Burger.
Okay.
Where the Royals play.
What's that meat there that you're talking
Bright blue bun to match the team's colors. Bacon, blue cheese, buffalo style aioli, lettuce, tomato. So it's pretty much a standard buffalo blue cheeseburger, but just the blue bun that's a pass for me. It's a hard pass.
It looks like it might be good though. Buffalo blue cheese, aioli. Those are my things right there. I like
I
that.
don't know, blue bun is just it crosses the line.
Right.
For me. I don't know. By the way, did you hear that in Kansas City there was a tax that both the Royals and the Chiefs said they needed to fund their new stadiums or upgrade their stadiums, and it got destroyed.
Really? I did hear this.
So now both of them are talking about, well, we don't know
What are we going to do? Yes, I did hear
Not
about
anytime
that.
soon, but both of them are kind of opening the door to relocate.
Yeah, I can't see it though. The Chiefs?
Bring the Chiefs here. Bring the A's here.
How about the Royals? We okay bringing the Royals. All right. I'm just saying from an emotional standpoint, right? Don't bring the blue burger. No, I did see that. That would be. There's no way, right?
There's no way.
No way.
Apparently, from what I read, it's that people who voted on it. It's not that they're against the stadiums or the teams. It's just part of it was some proposed downtown new area where they feel like, no, that would drive out some pre-existing businesses, and they didn't want to do that. So it wasn't like we reject the Chiefs and the Royals, but it was just those political things. You hitch one thing to another, it gets a little involved.
Right, yeah.
But I'll bet you Vivek saw that today.
Right, he's like, might be a possibility, right?
Drapes, I got to be honest with you. Here's what worries me about the Kings.
Yeah, let's hear this.
We've talked a lot about how, boy, down the stretch, you need everything you got from De'Aaron Fox, and he's not shooting the ball real well, and it concerns me a little bit. And I'm not picking on him, and I don't mean to be overly critical, but he's not shooting the ball well.
And what are you talking? When you say shooting, are you just talking from three or overall? What do you
three and overall? I mean, he's getting to the basket, and he's got, he's a master of spinning the ball off the glass, but his jump shot is just not falling right now. And he's had some really poor shooting games lately. Maybe he's hurt. I don't know. I know he wants to win. I'm not suggesting there's anything, that he's not doing that he should be doing, but kind of need the best player to be knocking down shots right now.
Yeah, but, and I'm with you. I'm looking at the splits right now from month to month. And we talked a little bit about this yesterday. December, he was shooting 47.8% from the field, 43.7% from three. January has started to dip down. February, 48.7 from the field, but 32.4. March, 44%, 34.2. I get it, Whitey. The numbers are coming down. 6 of 20, I believe it was.
That's
last
correct.
night.
1 of 7.
1 of 7. I look at it, and I was watching De'Aaron obviously yesterday. I'm not liking the type of threes he's taking. It seems to be kind of too rushed at times. And, he was playing at an all NBA level back in December when he was knocking down those threes. We were like, oh my gosh, this guy's looking like Steph Curry out there. And he's sort of come back down to earth since for the season, just 36% from three. Solid, respectable, but, it's not anywhere close to, being in the upper echelons of the
36
NBA.
is fine unless you started at over 40. That means
right. That means you're coming down. Yeah. But let me ask you this then. If you want to get like that, how about his free throw shooting? Can we give him some love on that? I got the numbers right here. Let's talk about his free throw shooting. For the month of March, 15 games, 84.8% from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the 3 points going down, but he's knocking down his free throws.
Don't you think if a guy can make free throws at a high rate, he should be a good shooter?
Right. Or vice versa, right? If you're a good 3-point shooter, you should be able to knock down threes. And I agree with you on that. And I don't know, who was it that we were talking about? Me and Katie was thinking about this yesterday. I think, how it's, somebody's a great shooter, but can't knock down free throws. I forget who it was, but you would think those would translate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correlate. I don't know about De'Aaron Fox though, because when
I'm just worried because I know they're going to need everything he's got.
Well, I need to look at his shot profile. To me, that's the biggest thing. Like, if he's taking 7-8 threes a game and only shooting 32%, De'Aaron Fox's bread and butter is either in the paint or that elbow extended jumper. I would like to see him shoot more of those, get back to that, how he was last year, instead of relying on the three ball so much that he's been doing this season. I mean, when you look at his numbers this season, and I know he started off great from 3-point range, 7.6 3-point attempts per game for De'Aaron Fox. Last season, he was only shooting 5 threes per game. And you talk about his efficiency. Last year, he shot 51.2% from the field. That's impressive at that position. If he can get back to that, I see what you mean. If he can get back to that, but I think it's the type of shots that he's taking, that's why he's not as efficient.
I did notice last night that, when he was playing off the ball a little bit more, like Davion bring the ball up. And I think you and I both said we're not sure about him playing off the ball.
Yeah. Did we notice anything with that, though? Did it look better or look worse? I don't know.
It doesn't matter because, and then he ends up with the ball on the weak side and then he does his thing.
Right,
so
right.
I think it just gives your offense a little more diversity before it gets to him.
Yeah, exactly. And, you could talk about Steph Curry. He plays off the ball a lot too, and so
he never stops moving.
Right. That's the thing. Like, if you can get De'Aaron on the run, a catch and run, he's going to be hard to stop. And maybe that's what they're trying to do with that. But like I said before, I think his shot profile needs to be better. I like the little mid-range De'Aaron Fox and getting to the paint De'Aaron Fox better.
So you think, in a way, he's almost forcing some of the threes? Like, don't need to take as many?
Right. He doesn't need to, but he has the confidence in his three-point shot, especially when he saw what he did in December. And so I think he's trying to trust the work that he's put in with Luke Laux and Steph Curry this offseason. And so, 7.6 is a lot. Remember, he was up around 9 earlier this season.
Yeah. I remember saying probably January that, look, where the Kings are right now, if they don't make a ton of threes, they have a hard time winning a game.
Yeah.
Well, last night they were 12 for 42.
Right.
And they won easily.
A different Kings team,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It's not the same. They don't have to put up 120 anymore. They don't have to hit 15 threes. And, and that's Mike Brown talking about playoff basketball. You can win in different ways. And it's something we've been begging this team to do all season long, and it's finally coming.
Did you see last night on? Well, you saw it, obviously, you did the game. Dumas knocking down a 15-footer.
Right.
It's funny because Chris Watkins and I were talking about that before the game. And then so when he made that, and we were, pretty far apart on press row, but when he made it, I looked over at Chris and Chris looked over at me. He's like, yes, how about more of that, right?
And the thing is, and I brought it up with Katie during the game, it wasn't just that he knocked down the 15-footer. He was very decisive when he got the ball. Like, he didn't hold on, look around, and then all of a sudden, it was a quick shot. And then he did another move earlier than that, working on Zubats on the left block there. He caught it and immediately spun. That's what we talked about. He has to be quicker with some of his moves, You can't always drive 55 miles an hour. Change it up a little bit, And so I thought he did a good job of that last night.
That's a great point. I remember Jerry Reynolds talking about that going back to last year when the first possession in the playoff series against the Warriors, he gets the ball and was it Looney, I think.
Yeah.
And Looney's like 10 feet off.
Yeah.
And you can see he's like, well, now what have I done?
Now, right.
And that would happen in the series. Get the ball and look. And well, now what am I supposed to do?
Let
it's
that
like
thing
whatever
fly.
you do, like you said, whether it's going to be letting it fly or
Pass
drive in.
and do something.
Do it quick.
Right. Do it quickly. And he did that a little bit. I need to find out if it's something that the coaches have talked to him about, because I was impressed with that last night. It was only a couple of instances, but I said that's what he needs to do more of.
He nearly had that triple-double last night. But it's interesting. You pointed out earlier that the Kings went on one of their runs when he was not even on the floor.
Not even on the floor. That
That's
run
another
to
good
start
sign.
the second quarter was huge. And I just like the energy that the bench did. And I remarked during the game, Mike Brown's letting these guys rock, you know. Usually he comes back to Domas a little earlier in that second quarter. I think he came back to him in like 7-minute mark of the second. And that's because Alex Len was playing at such a high level, Trey Lyles. And so I was impressed by that. And there was a stretch when both he and De'Aaron Fox were on the bench into the third, beginning of the fourth, I think it was, and they still maintained the lead and played well.
Meanwhile, we have an idea here what Brandon Ayuk's contract may look like with the 49ers. You're a big Ayuk guy, right?
That's my guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's too bad Jay's not here today, and we hope Jay's feeling better. We're happy to have Simone, but Jay's been out a while, and because I know he hasn't been too excited about paying Ayuk a lot of money, but what an Ayuk deal with the Niners may look like. Is he worth it? That's next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sport.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Welcome to the April Adventure Sales Event at Kia Vacaville. Are you ready for an extraordinary experience? We're excited to introduce you to the pinnacle of automotive excellence, the Kia Telluride. During April Adventure, come and explore the remarkable features of the Kia Telluride. It's not just a vehicle, it's a lifestyle with this seamless blend of sophistication and practicality. The Telluride is ready to elevate your driving experience to new heights. Whether you're embarking on a family road trip or navigating the urban jungle, the Kia Telluride offers unparalleled comfort and innovation. Plus, with Kia's commitment to safety and reliability, you can drive with confidence wherever the road takes you. Don't miss this opportunity to experience the extraordinary Kia Telluride for yourself. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and take advantage of exclusive offers during the April Adventure Sales Event. Your adventure begins here. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets excellence. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details. Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
It's sloppy right now. He got him! Somebody call 911 because Murray just caught a body.
Wow. Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
That call was all right, about a 6.
It was solid. All right, Trey Lyles over here. Trey Lyles over there.
Yeah. The dunk was very good. The call was better than the dunk.
Oh, all right. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that.
That was a great call.
Thank you. Spur of the moment thing, it's just say whatever comes to your mind, long as FCC approved. And, sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't.
I've a couple times I've been fortunate enough to be in front of like big crowds. I mean, presenting stuff after a show. I remember one time Van Halen, they had a show and then they had their encore. And before the encore, we got to go out on stage and give Sammy Hagar a birthday card or something. But my point is, you could feel the energy.
Yeah,
I had nothing to do with it. My question is, when you're doing games, sometimes is there a different energy depending on how the crowd is that you can't really anticipate, and it's almost like a wave that you kind of step into.
Yeah,
you can't dictate it, but you have to kind of adapt what you're doing to reflect that energy.
100%. And it's different at home versus on the road, even. And I'll tell you something what's even crazier. Every game, the audio sounds different in my ear. Believe it or not, home, road, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I like a lot of crowd noise pumped in to my ear because I feed off the crowd noise. And so it just depends. Like last night, that crowd was on fire. They were fired up. And so I had to match that energy. That was, my thought. But then there's been another time, like a game, where were we at? Atlanta, I think it was, where the Hawks were playing well, but it's still Houston early in the season. And like the Hawks were playing, the Rockets were playing great, but their crowd was still sitting on their hands. It's like that impacts a broadcaster. Like you still got to bring the energy. It's hard. Golden One, they do a fantastic job though. That crowd and pumping it in, I can feel it and feed off that energy.
What other arenas? Golden One is above and beyond.
Yeah.
What other arenas have the most consistently the best energy?
Best energy. Obviously, the team we're watching now, Boston, they bring it. They bring it. Usually, we're on the short end of that. From a broadcast. Like when I go back with the Kings, I've been back twice now.
I don't know if this is fair, but I'd want to ask you if you could compare Chase to Roracle. And I don't know if you did enough games.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did play-by-play at Oracle. I did sideline reporting. Definitely different though.
Yeah.
Oracle was just it was great. And I remember, when the Celtics used to come in there, those were big games back then. And it's a different crowd now. Even courtside, it's a different crowd. The setup of the arena, they got those suites like midway through. It's just a weird setup there at Chase right now. And whereas Oracle, man, from top to bottom, you could feel that place.
I remember one of the Kings games in Arco 2, and I think it was 2000 season. So it was the first round, the Kings playing the Lakers. It was a best of 5. And the Kings were down 2-1, game 4. And they won the game on a Thursday to send it back to LA where they would lose. But that was the loudest I've ever heard in an arena. And I remember I was with Lonnie, our oldest daughter, and we were, sitting next to each other. So we're closer than you and I. No chance you could hear.
Really?
There's no chance. I remember talking to some of the players. They said, that was, and I know maybe there have been games that were louder, but to me, that was the loudest I ever heard in an arena. It's like if someone next to you had something to say, you had no chance to hear them.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole game.
It reminds me of Golden One, that first playoff game.
Things
ran out. You know this from being a radio guy. Like when white noise comes into your ear, that's when you know it's really loud. That's what happened during that Kings game. The squad ran on, and it just was like, like you just
white out time.
Yeah. And it was like, oh my gosh, I've never heard an arena that loud. And so I get it, man. It's that's why I'm excited for this year's playoffs, man. Top 5 seed for the Sacramento Kings. I'm thinking we're going to be. Did you see if we do get the 5? The Clippers are pretty much the 4 seed. Like the Clippers are pretty much going to hold on to that. And are we okay with that matchup?
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, he says yes. Okay. All right, bring it on.
They just looked lifeless last night and soulless.
But no
Before,
Kawhi Leonard. No
during,
Kawhi.
and after the game.
No Kawhi,
Maybe
though.
that's why they were so lifeless. Maybe they're worried about Kawhi. Now all of a sudden it's like, just think if you're a Clipper fan, Kawhi's knee is hurting. No.
Right. Yeah. It could be going downhill for them. I would like 5 or 6. I might even be more open to 6 and have to play, let's say, Minnesota or OKC, because I think Denver is going to capture the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wouldn't mind the 6th spot.
So what'd you say? No delaying, stay out of the plan? Or no, that wasn't it.
It was something like that. Ain't no delaying. Skip the plan or something like that. Yeah. That wasn't mine though. That was I think it was my guy Curtis Hicks on the YouTube chat. Yeah.
Thanks for all the participation today. By the way, earlier I mentioned, Jerry West in the Hall of Fame 3 times. How about that? Yeah. I didn't mention Vince Carter, Chauncey Billups.
How about that?
The Basketball Hall of Fame. Former king
Vince Carter. Is he going to go in as a king maybe?
Of course he is.
Yeah, that's huge news, man. I tell you what, that's when you're old, when guys you watched, I was an adult when they were playing, and now they're,
right.
It's like, man, these aren't even childhood heroes. These are guys that are, has come and gone. Mm-hmm. It's well-deserved for both of them.
Vince Carter was a rookie the same year as Jason Williams.
Really?
Yeah, I think he beat out J. Will for Rookie of the Year in 99.
That was that lockout shortened year,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Paul Pierce that year too, I believe. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Insanity played a long. And that was great, right? Because it was like, what about your legacies? No, I just want to play.
Just like Cooper.
And he apparently could have gone to the Warriors and maybe gotten a ring. And he's like, nah, I'm not going to play there. So I want to play. So I believe that's when he came here.
Okay.
And he could have gone to the Warriors, but he's like, well, I'm not going to play there. I want to play.
He wants to play. Yeah. That's impressive. Vince Carter, to me, still the best dunker of all time. I think Vince Carter is the greatest dunker of all time.
If only we could have heard Kyle Draper calling him.
Can you imagine that? Oh my gosh, that would be awesome, man.
Better than Dominique, though.
Better than Dominique, and I love Dominique. Dominique's my guy. You know that. Dominique, Simone, mark it down. I don't know if my guy Dominique is listed on there, but Dominique's my guy. But I think Vince Carter, I think Vince is just. He's
because of what he did to that poor French guy.
Yeah.
Frederick Weiss.
Frederick Weiss, yes. He leapt over a guy. That's, Vince Carter's the guy. Vince Carter's the guy.
I wish that we could have seen more of David Thompson.
Yeah.
They called him the Skywalker. And apparently he could just, I remember him a little bit. But, now everything is on TV. It's great.
David Thompson. Dr. Duncanstein, Daryl Griffith.
Yeah.
Kenny Skywalker, too. You're right.
Chauncey Billups, 2004 NBA Finals MVP, led the Pistons to that 4-1 victory over the Lakers.
Yeah.
It was Kobe and Shaq and Gary Payton and Karl Malone. And they lost. And one of the things people say about that Pistons team is, they didn't really have any superstars. I guess with that Chauncey Billups, they had Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Richard Hamilton.
They had maybe not superstars, but they had a bunch of all-stars, that's for sure. Right?
Yeah.
They had some all-NBA guys. And you're right. It wasn't like just, Joe Schmo from down the block, a pickup game at the local Y or anything. Like these guys were very, very good basketball players.
Yeah, and Chauncey was MVP of the finals that year. 21 points, 5 assists, shot 47.1% from the three-point line in that series.
Mr. Big Shot himself.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chauncey.
He's a guy that, just speaking for myself, I don't know that I would have recognized without looking it up how great a career he had.
Who, Chauncey?
Yeah.
I
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know him from the Pistons days, his early Celtics days as well. I need to look him up as well because when you think of Hall of Famer, it's like, wow, is he? But he's had a great career.
At the highlights like,
yeah.
All right, when we come back, as promised, we'll look at Brandon Ayuk's potential new deal. And we have a very easy edition of Who to Root For tonight.
Okay.
That's next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Plus, with free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation today. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
This is for the men who never settle. The ones who believe only quitters and a game and a tie. The type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. And the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
All right, Kyle Draper, you're a big Brandon Ayuk guy, right?
Yes.
We know that there's some question as to whether the 49ers will come to an agreement with Brandon Ayuk. It sounds like the Niners want him. It sounds like everything is on the right track, but we will see. David Lombardi in The Athletic says this is what a new deal would probably look like. So, again, this is a writer, but it's a very well-educated writer. It's not just pulling numbers out of thin air here. He says a new deal would be something like $128.5 million over 5 years, which would be $25.7 million a year. Of course, the big deal in the NFL is the guarantee, $52.3 million guaranteed, which would be close to what the Dolphins gave
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, though, as we talk about this, because I got the wide receiver salary rankings here.
Yeah.
You tell me where Ayuk fits. Tell me a player Ayuk is better than. I'm going to just go down the list. And Tyreek Hill, $30 million, his average. Devontae Adams.
I would take Ayuk over Devontae Adams.
Devontae's getting 28. Cooper Kupp.
Yes. These are all fine
Ayuk
receivers.
Better than?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would take. When I say yes, I would take him over
A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs.
Yes. By the way, traded today.
Yeah, traded today. Yeah, going to Houston.
For like a second and a fourth and a pretty good draft package. Yeah.
DK Metcalf.
Yes. Different type of receiver.
Ayuk's better than?
Yeah. And again, I'm talking about in
Dude,
my.
you got
as
Ayuk
much as I
like the
rely on-
second best wide receiver in the
Well,
league
if
then.
I'm the 49ers, he's invaluable to me.
Okay, so.
And really, maybe Jefferson might be the only guy I'd name. And I know I said Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, you said not even Tyreek. Come on, man.
If I'm the 49ers, that's how much he's worth to me.
Man, I tell you what, Justin Jefferson, he must be on the how come they don't have him on this list here?
And I think he's got a new deal coming up.
Yeah,
and some
maybe
GMs
that's why.
are saying
Yeah.
the 49, because we don't know.
We don't know who his deal.
Some GMs are saying the 49ers better take care of Ayuk before
Justin Jefferson sets the market.
Because then whoop, you're going to have to give him more.
So Debo, is he better than Debo? Yeah. Debo's at 23.85.
25.7. If I get him for that,
you're okay. That's the market. Good thing we don't have Jay in here, because Jay would be losing his freaking mind right now.
But remember, Jay also had to concede once the cap went up. He said, "Yeah, they're probably going to
yeah. I mean, you had him behind Tyreek and
Did
Justin
you not
Jefferson.
like her playing that?
No, it's the off season. We don't play that in the off season. Like, why do we play that? It's the off season. You don't need to play that.
Off season
and why are we, proud to be playing Bang Bang Niner game? They lost the Super Bowl. Like, this is one of those things where you stick your tail between your legs and come out next season. It's like Groundhog Day.
Super Bowl. You know all about that 2 years ago.
Right, exactly. And you guys gave me mess for that. So
I didn't even know you then.
But wow, Ayuk is about to get paid. That's interesting. That's he's my guy. I think he's deserving of it. And he's so instrumental too. Like, I think he is in a position of strength here. Like, they need him.
Yeah.
Outside of him, sure, you got Debo, but that wide receiving core is not that strong, in my opinion.
Yeah. When you look at things like his yard per catch and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean to speak for Jay, who's not here, and hopefully he's feeling better, but I believe one of the things Jay has said is, well, he's not a big-time playmaker. But, you have so many playmakers in that offense already.
Yeah.
And Purdy and he have a connection, although it's funny. I don't know if you guys may have played it. There's the Chad Ochocinco. He's not Chad Ochocinco anymore, but that podcast that he's on, and he was talking to Ayuk about playing the last game of the regular season last year without Purdy, and Ayuk said, what's his name didn't play. It's from Purdy.
He said what's his name?
I'll see if I can find it. Yeah.
Gosh.
But then he was mad
that.
because that affected his yards per game and yards per catch because he had to play with Darnold. So he was not happy.
Right,
about
he wasn't
that.
happy. Yeah, that impacted his numbers.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right,
exactly.
all right. Yeah, I mean, it's
but he's in the driver's seat. I'm with you.
Yeah, he's in the driver's seat, and I think they need him. And if you could get him, like we said, at 25.7 or whatever it was,
that's a guess from Lombardi. Yeah, that's about right.
I think that's where he fits in. When we just went down the list, like I said, that's less than Cooper Kupp. That's less than Devontae, less than Tyreek. It's going to be less than Jefferson. And so, no, he slots in right under that.
The question is, could you trade him and then get, pretty good package back? Look at what Diggs got, and Diggs is older. And then it's supposed to be a receiver draft. I mean, to me, that's where you're just outsmart.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's like what they did with DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, it'd be different if Ayuk was older. Like, he's not even hitting his prime yet. Like, whoever you draft, you hope they're as good as Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
You already got a guy.
And the other thing that we don't look at with wide receivers that makes him a great fit for this offense, he's a good blocker.
Yes.
And in Shanahan's offense, you have to be a good blocker.
Right. And how many, and I don't know the answer to this question, but how many of these young wide receivers are actually asked to block at the college level? And so, yeah, I mean, Ayuk's 26 years old. Come on, man. He just turned 26. Local product, obviously, Rockland. And so, no, they got to re-sign him.
Yeah.
That would be a massive loss.
That's how I knew that there was no chance when Antonio Brown was still a player that some teams wanted. There's no chance he would come to the 49ers because the story from Matt Mayoka was that years ago, when he first left Pittsburgh, so I was like, this is a elite receiver.
Yeah, elite.
And the 49ers did their due diligence on him. And apparently he went to the Steeler coaches one day, and it was before a big game against Cincinnati. And he told them, hey, just so you guys know, I'm not blocking today.
Oh,
so
shoot.
When the 49ers found that out, I'm sure there's
all right, we're out on that guy. Yeah, and probably a good move, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going off the deep end a little bit.
Yeah. Help us out here, Drapes. This should be an easy one tonight, but who do we root for? Things get complicated this time of year with the standings being what they are in the West. So tonight, if you're a Kings fan, who do you root for? I think this is easy. Orlando and the Pelicans.
Orlando, yes. We're all Magic fans tonight. That's an easy one. Think about it. The Pelicans lose tonight. You win tomorrow, hopefully. Then you're right there. You got the same record. You guys are tied, but they have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to NBA.com, 6:10 left in the first half, and we're tied at 38 at the Smoothie King.
All right. Oh, it's in New Orleans. Huh?
Yes, yes. And then tonight, ESPN, the Cleveland Cavaliers visit the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah,
big game.
Big game. We need Cleveland to come through. How about the schedule where this late in the season you're going against Eastern Conference opponents, right? That's kind of wonky, kind of weird, I think.
It's unfortunate.
Unfortunate, right? But and I'm watching Lakers Washington. We're rooting for Washington. Not going to happen, though. It looks like the Lakers probably get this win, even though there's still a quarter left. But a lot of games with impacts on us tonight. But you're right, man. That Pelicans game, man, I wish the Mavericks would lose one more game, Dallas. Just one more game, because that's the team I'm really eyeing. Right now, the Mavericks, I'm looking at the conference record,
Mavericks
29
are one
and
game
20.
up on the Kings in the all-important win column.
Cloud. Who's that? Javier? When you look at the standings, Mavericks are up in the win cut. Dude, nobody ever talks about win column when it comes to standings. But I will say, I'm looking at their conference record. Right now, the Kings have a half-game lead on the conference record, which would be the tiebreaker that would be used. So we're in good shape right now.
Yeah, still some pizza left in that box. But yes, and then if Cleveland helps you out tonight, then you're looking, you got a little bit of a cushion over Phoenix going into this potentially brutal Eastern swing.
Brutal Eastern swing. And, you got 4 games. If we can go 2-2, I take 2-2, as long as you come back home and beat the Pelicans and Suns. I feel very good about having 3 games at home to really maybe control your own destiny as you've pushed for the playoffs.
Yeah. So this quite a test for the Kings. A test of their newfound identity tomorrow.
Yes, this will be fun to talk about, and because it was a rock fight the last time the Knicks played, and Katie, I remember during the call for that.
She likes those games, doesn't she?
She likes those games, but she thought it was the worst officiated game of the year because the Knicks got away with so much. We'll see how it's officiated tomorrow, and see if our guys, put on their gear and strap up and get ready for it.
Yeah. Want to thank Simone for filling in.
Thank you,
today.
Simone.
Yeah, appreciate that.
You guys.
Yeah, thank you for telling us about the championship lobster burger.
Burger.
Yeah.
I go to New York, I'm getting one of those bad boys for sure.
And thank you for being with us. We're back with you tomorrow. Have a pleasant evening, and thanks for listening to The Drive, guys, on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor or CGM, you can reduce the